Hello everyone, my name is Pixelriffs. You know what day it is. It is Choppin Tuesday, the day we chop for resources. Although today we got some interesting stuff to chop, and we will talk about that in just a second. How is everyone? How has your week started out? I hope you're all very good. I hope my hair is doing something remotely sensible. There we go. Throwlash can make your first Pixelriff stream. Welcome along, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you'll all enjoy yourselves on this fine, actually sort of sunny day compared to yesterday. Yesterday was terrible. It was raining all day. It was the worst. And here's the purple shirt being blue. I took a picture of this earlier on Twitter. I posted it to Twitter and was like, this is basically proof that this shirt is purple, so when everyone tells me on stream that it's blue, you can refer to this. So yeah, I don't know why my webcam does this, but anyway, here we are in the stream doing the Minecraft stuff, and we're only like 400 followers away from hitting 10,000 here on Twitch, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So if anyone has not dropped a follow already, please do, and please encourage anybody who is not watching the stream or is not already following to do the same, because we got some good stuff going on here. So today Is the Space Mug around? The Space Mug is definitely around. I got my tea. Yes, showing the menu through it right now. But yeah, today we're going to do a bunch of dragon fights because I have been working with the end this week. This week's end week, and people were worried that it was going to be like the end of the series. I'm like, no, just the dimension, the end. You guys, don't get it confused. We've got a lot of stuff to do. But one of the things I have never done before, that I really wanted to try for this series, and something that I felt like we would probably have to try sooner rather than later, in the same way that like breaking bedrock was something that I had to do sooner rather than later. I wanted to try spawning an end gateway in a custom position, basically manipulating the game into spawning an end gateway like to the outer islands, but in the void, like in a very specific place. And I've seen this done before, because Doc M did it on this season of Hermitcraft to start his Enderman farm, and I've seen various people do it before. I think Azuma had did it in the previous season of Hermitcraft. It's been possible to do since 1.9 when the gateways were introduced, thanks to a bunch of technical Minecrafters, and Nembon has a tutorial about how to do it, so I was following that. And basically all of the stuff is in place. I've tested it in creative and it works. Now all we need to do is fight a bunch of dragons to spawn the end gateway that it's in the north position on the island, like the direct north. So yeah, remote portal manipulation is what we're at today, and I need to fight a bunch of ender dragons. So we're going to be chopping the dragon for today's Choppin' Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it. Hello, welcome along everyone who is just joining us. Good to see you guys. So let's log in and let's do the thing. Have I chopped enough ghasts? That is a good question. That is the next thing I have to decide if I can. I've got like loads of ghast tears around. I think, and I've got enough ender pearls as well, but I'll need to make eyes of ender, and I'll need some glass. And I think I turned a lot of my glass into black stained glass recently. Oh, I should also, sorry, Cosmic Dancer resub for 14 months while we were loading up here. Thank you so much, Cosmic, for the 14 months of support. And thank you to Curry Kerry for 2 months of Twitch Prime as well, coming in with the Twitch Prime resub. Appreciate that. Can we see some hype in the chat for those two fine folks, please? Very good. Very fine. I've watched every stream twice. It's nice to see me streaming. You've watched every stream twice? I mean, fair play to you, but there are many videos for you to watch as well. Good to see me streaming again. I have been... Yeah, I'm back in... I've not really been away from streaming. I was away for like 1 day, I guess. But, yeah, apparently some people missed me. You got a couple of follows and hosts coming in. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. I will probably need a lot more fireworks for this, because fighting the dragon using a Elytra is very good. It is a lot nicer than fighting it without Elytra. So, if we need to avoid full damage at any point, we'll know where to start. I've got blaze powder and blaze rods in here as well, so we can probably do most of this now. I think I just need to cook up a bunch of sand. So let's put a bunch of that in the super smelter over at the forge. And yeah, no, I mean, last week I missed my Thursday stream. Normally I don't stream every day, so yeah, I will occasionally miss a day where I would normally be streaming. What do we got in here? Oh, gosh, we're smelting loads of smooth stone. Ah. Yeah, that's currently rather full. Oh, there's some glass in there already, though. Good. Good. Okay, well, let me put a bunch of this smooth stone into this shulker box so that I can at least clear out the space in here for all of the other stuff that's coming through. Because, yeah, when I dug out that end portal room that we did on stream on Sunday and that you guys saw in today's episode, if you watch my YouTube channel today, I had a load of stone from that, and I didn't have more than I wanted to put in my storage system, so I decided, yeah, I would probably smelt some of it and turn it into smooth stone so we could make more blast furnaces and various other things. Throwlash with 200 bits. Thank you so much for unlocking some Twitch Pride emotes as well. Here's to being able to attend your first stream. Love the content. Keep being you. Well, didn't plan to be anyone else, but thank you. I appreciate that. How's it going with that, Mrs. Riffs? You know, it's going. Lonelier than I would like, but I had my parents here for a little while, and that was nice. And yeah, we're video chatting and stuff while we can, so it's all right. Okay, 10 end crystals. That's a good start. We'll put them in there for now. And we'll need to get some more blaze powder. I guess that's the bottleneck right now, but we've got plenty of that lying around. Sunday's episode was a black screen. You think we built an end portal room? Hey, that's why I tried to light it up as best as I could. Why are Tuesday streams Choppin' Tuesdays? It's just something I started because I realized I would probably have to gather resources quite regularly, and I don't really feel like doing that off camera, but I don't feel like doing it in regular YouTube episodes because just spending a ton of time chopping wood is not very entertaining for like a tutorial series, but it's the kind of thing I can do on stream, and then we get to have like a kind of Q&A format. People can just chat and stuff. Hey, Avakanj, welcome along. Found the fortress, finally got tons of blaze rods. Should you go straight to finding the stronghold and kill the Ender Dragon? I mean, do what you like, really. Like, if you would like to get stuff like shulker boxes and elytra and so forth right away, then by all means go and attack the dragon and whatnot, but there's no hurry. Like, you shouldn't worry too much about, like, what order you do things. Just do things when you want to do them. This is a sandbox game. You can kind of take it at your own pace. Like, I like to go to beating the dragon and stuff, like, relatively quickly, but that's mainly because I really like having stuff like shulker boxes. I feel like that always takes us to, like, the next level of gameplay. So that is 5 Ender Dragon fights, like, going on 6. If we get a couple more gas tiers. I think I even have some gas tiers in the potion brewing setup over there, too, so... I look almost exactly like your best man, but I am not, so... Best man living his best life. What makes the Bedrock Dragon fight so hard? I don't know. I've not... I mean, I've fought the dragon on Bedrock in the Cobble Clicker series, and it seemed fairly normal. Oh, we have tons of gas tiers in here. Okay, well, we can go the whole hog then, can't we? We can make a whole bunch of these things. So more ender pearls, more blaze powder... Those in there. Yeah, we got 19 gas tiers left. That's another 16. Wow, okay, 40. So that's enough for basically 10 Ender Dragon fights. It could be more than that if we wanted to spawn the dragon with like 2 crystals, but that also moves the end portal, I believe. And we can always go into stuff like that a little bit later if we want to, but yeah, that's not the kind of thing I want to do. I'm pretty sure I won't need to make 10 end gateways. It chooses sort of randomly which one it's going to spawn, so I don't know for certain if we will end up having to do a ton of fights or if we'll get lucky. But we'll see. Bedrock spawns up to 3 dragons. Oh, really? Okay, that sounds like a bug then, huh? Feel like we might get a death in this stream. Well, maybe if I'm watching the chat a whole bunch and trying to respond to people instead of concentrating on what I'm doing and actually fighting a dragon. How's the week been? Week's been good. Week has been good. I've got a lot of work done, and some of the projects I do for my part-time job are wrapping up. Is the dragon fight still broken in 114.2? Broken how? It flew around like a madman last time you tried to kill it in 114. I don't know if I've done a dragon fight since 1.14, but then I spawned it in creative a couple of times, not using creative mode and in like a backup copy of the world. I just spawned it in like the usual conditions with the end crystals and stuff, and it didn't seem to be behaving oddly, but I was killing it with commands just to try and spawn the gateway, just to make sure the gateway actually worked. So I don't know if I missed something there, but I guess we're going to find out. We can always make a quick escape if we need to. So I have a lot of smooth stone now. Not sure quite what we're going to do with all of this, but I don't know. We'll figure it out later. How many times have I fought the Wither in this world? 3, maybe 4. Occasionally the cheaty way. So I'm going to go to the Guardian Farm, repair my pickaxes and my elytra before we do any of this. I might also grab a bit more gunpowder and a bit more paper and fill up the fireworks box, because that's going to be rather useful for this little session. Easy way, not the cheaty way. I mean, technically, yeah. Not using cheats to do it, just the cheese. Getting pickaxe anxiety again. It's got like 200 durability left. It's fine. With Unbreaking 3, that's more like 600. You know that, right? Why am I fighting the dragon? I'm trying to generate an end gateway on the north, like the direct north axis of the island, because I have a setup which will cause it to spawn in a different place than where it usually does. And more information about that will be in tomorrow's episode of the Survival Guide series. I get smooth stone. You smelt regular natural stone. I've started calling it natural stone instead of just calling it stone, because I feel like just calling it stone is a bit of a... like, it's too general, because you could be talking about a different stone type. Stone feels like a category to me more than a specific block. You know what I mean? So I've been calling it natural stone. Does that make sense to everybody when I say it? Love today's video, thanks. I'm trying to work more build projects in a way that will be interesting to people, as like, here's something you can do in your world, rather than just like, let's watch Pixel Riffs build a thing. Stone au naturel, I like it. Stone al fresco. Is there a video for the farm we took gunpowder from? Yes. Basically anything that's like a farm like this, I've made a video on it at some point, because that's kind of the point of my whole series. But yeah, that one is how to build a mob spawner, and then the balloon above that was the video about how to decorate farms to make them look pretty. There we go. That's more fireworks. That's about as much fireworks as we want. Maybe call it Stony Stone. I like that. Stony Middleton. Are you late? Depends what you wanted to be here for. If you wanted to be here to see 5 minutes of, like, stream countdown, then yes, you're late. Aside from that, no. I've been live for about 20 minutes. A stream audience is never late, nor is it early. It arrives precisely when it means to. You don't make farms pretty, you make them not ugly. I mean, I'm pretty sure that hot air balloon counts as pretty at this point. Oh, that's the wood box in there. Okay, cool. I will grab an ender chest, because I really need to carry these things around more. And probably bring some wood as well. We will probably end up chopping some wood at some point in today's stream, because I need some oak. Running a little low on oak. And probably a bit of dark oak and a bit of jungle as well. Nightbot is back. Yes, Nightbot is back. It just had a funny 5 minutes the other day. Hey, Zarond. Welcome along. So, yeah, we've got fireworks back. We need to go and mend some stuff. And then we can go and fight the dragon. I also just put the ender pearl box away in the ender chest, I think. So this is the one that has all of the crystals in it. Okay, good. As long as I know that, because I'm bringing the ender chest with me. I've got one over at the... Wait, I don't have one in the portal room anymore, do I? Because I don't think I put an ender chest anywhere in there. Or did I put it up by the bed? I think I might have put it up by the bed. The ender chest is near the bed. Good. Hello, Key Smash, with the Twitch Prime resub. Thank you so much for the 3 months. I'm going to call you Key Smash from now on, because I always try and read words in your name that don't seem to exist for me. And I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I just call you Key Smash. Nightbot went to the Guardian farm to repair himself with XP. He has mending. I'm sure he does. I expect Nightbot has, like, nano machines working on him like Tony Stark at this point, right? Nightbot is powered by extremists. I was checking who'd watched today's episode of Survival Guide. It was a test, Snagdad, and you passed. Great stuff. Hello, Jarrell, JP, what's up, guys? Welcome along. Nightbot has genetically engineered hamsters running in really big wheels. It's basically that one character from Overwatch with the hamster ball. I don't know his name. I've never played Overwatch, but I thought you might appreciate the reference. Is his name Hammond? It feels like it should be Hammond. Nightbot was made by Invader Zim. There's something that people make references to a lot that I've never heard. Like, never watched. Can I do an update on my statistics? My in-game statistics? I guess. Let me open my world to land so that the Guardians are still, like, doing stuff in the background. Because I hate the fact that when you pause in single player, sometimes it freezes. Like, that's very useful in some circumstances, really annoying in others. I have taken water from a cauldron 14 times. I've enchanted 828 things. Deaths is still at 9, I think. We've had 1 day since the last incident. Where are we? Number of deaths, yeah, 9. I've jumped 320,000 times, which is probably a lot more than I've jumped in real life. I've won 2 raids. I've quit the game 900 times. I've triggered 3 raids and won 2. There you go. That's a stat I'm never getting back. Interacted with the blast furnace 63 times and no more. Who interacts with blast furnaces anyway? I'm going to be a hipster about blast furnaces basically forever. I hope you guys are ready for that. What's cooking today? Guardians, but also dragons eventually. And now I can take all of this off and we can just mend the pickaxe. I can also start dumping some of this stuff in here. It's already filling up with drops again. I do not need this amount of fish, Sam I am. Not missing anything by not watching Invader Zim, fair enough. I'm sure other people would disagree, but that's how opinions work. The world's weirdest Fitbit stats. Basically, yeah. I love the idea that Steve has some sort of Fitbit that tells him how many times he's died. That's a dark reality, isn't it? That's a Black Mirror episode. Am I going to build in this stream or just gather resources? We are going to kill the dragon. Lots of times, probably. Also kill lots of guardians, but that's by the by. Just so we can mend some stuff for a second. There we go. I just don't want my pickaxe to run low on durability. Do you only ever stream solo, or do I sometimes have guests on? Typically, when I'm playing Minecraft, I tend to just stream solo because this is a single-player world. Occasionally, I'll co-stream with some other folks if we play different stuff. And in the past, when I was on a multiplayer server, I streamed with other people from time to time. But yeah, typically it's just the Pixel show, basically. My wife comes in occasionally. And we have co-streamed like Stardew Valley and stuff before too. Any plans for future SMPs? No, not at the moment. Right now I'm putting so much of my time into Survival Guide that I can't imagine starting another purely vanilla series. And Survival Guide is just bringing in so many audience members and cool ideas and that kind of stuff. What's the most efficient farm in terms of XP gain? Probably Enderman. I think Enderman, with the current designs, it generates more XP than you can actually collect. But then XP also groups together in certain amounts. Like, you can get orbs that are 1 XP, you can get orbs that are 10 XP, and I'm not sure which mobs produce the best in terms of that stuff, but I think Guardians and Blazes are basically the same, and I think Enderman just produces a higher rate if you build the kind of farm that just spawns tons of the things. How do you turn on sound subtitles? You go into the music and sounds menu and it's right there, or you go to accessibility settings and it's in the top right. What do I think of a shulker farm? I think it's impossible without data packs. I would love the idea of actually having a shulker farm in vanilla somehow, though, because it's one of the rare commodities, and it's one of the things that basically prompts admin actions when people need more shulker boxes. You have to reset bits of the end, and I sort of feel like that shouldn't be the case, but I'm not certain if there is like a good vanilla way of doing it. Endermen also don't have thorns. That is true. That is true. What's the highest level my XP has gotten to? I think we hit over 100 at one point. I think we had over 100 when I died one time. Or maybe I just ended up spending it all on enchanting. But, yeah, I've definitely had moments where I've gotten pretty high levels. Will next week be Nether Week? No, we've done Nether Week before. I think Nether Week was when I built the gold farm. And the week thing is always like a... It's a vague guideline. It's not really meant to be like a specific... I just decide I'm going to do a ton of projects, and I'm like, this is going to be end week, just because my attention is turning there, and I kind of need to... I need to hold myself to a certain idea of what I'm going to do. Oh, this doesn't even have mending. What am I doing? This is just my backup fortune pickaxe. I was wondering why I was getting tons of XP. Oh, that's so weird. Alright, bear with me while I put away my shame for a second. And yeah, my other fortune pickaxe is in there, and it's got mending. I wonder how many people in the chat noticed that before I did. I'm super entertaining. Thank you, Angel Zippy. I try to be. Why are we chopping dragons today? Because I want to spawn an end gateway in a very specific place. And I've done the setup for it, but it requires me to spawn the end gateway on the central island that faces north. Did you miss more hubris? No, I don't think so. What a nice blue shirt. Get out. How you doing, Eldrion? Welcome. Welcome along. About shulkers, have they ever stated why they don't respawn? I don't think they've really given a reason, but do they have to? I think it's one of those things where, like, they're just kind of OP. And they want players to explore further to be able to find rare stuff. Like, the risk-reward gets maintained that way instead of just hanging around one end city and spawning shulkers infinitely. Which makes sense for the average player experience, but on like, big survival multiplayer servers where you've got, like, potentially tens of hundreds of people. Not tens of hundreds, but tens or hundreds of people all looking for shulker boxes, it becomes difficult, and like one person can basically raid a ton of end cities and then basically own the economy on shulker boxes. My shirt looks like Concorp. It is not. Not Concorp today. The Concorp shirt is currently in the wash. How's Whip done so much with 200 episodes? Does he have longer episodes? He focuses primarily on building, and he probably puts in a lot more effort off camera. I say more effort. Like, if I'm comparing him to me, then it's not really a fair comparison, because a lot of the stuff I do is tutorials for farms and stuff like that, whereas basically what he does is build in every episode. Like, his series is building with Whip, so that's kind of... That's why his progress seems, like, very different to mine. Okay, this is all full now. And these are just going to fill up, and then, yeah. We end up with the same problem. Are there any good public multiplayer servers I know of? Not really. Public multiplayer servers just tend to be a troublesome proposition, because... I mean, if you're looking for stuff like minigames, then you can find stuff like Hypixel, Mineplex, The Hive. There's tons of servers out there that have a multiplayer component to them and are cool to visit, in my estimation. But then, if you're looking for public survival servers, that's a very different kettle of fish. Because it's difficult to enforce rules on survival servers and have, like, large communities of players when you aren't all friends and people don't know each other, because you have to make sure that everyone's like on the level and stuff. Is this the purple t-shirt that looks like it's blue? It is. See? Doesn't this look... It looks like royal blue. If I move the microphone out of the way. It looks kind of purple, but kind of blue at the same time. You know? Very strange. Remember to turn particles on. Yeah, I should probably do that, right? For the dragon fight. Might need that for the dragon fight. So let's actually, while it's nighttime, let's just go to the stronghold and set my spawn there. I love everybody on Twitter was saying like, oh, it looks green to me. I think it's pink, you know, like... There are people trying to be funny. Plans on a command block episode? Probably not for a long time. And let's face it, command blocks aren't all that necessary anymore, because so much of what command blocks would do is controlled by data packs and stuff. There are still a lot of good uses for command blocks, but it's, yeah, it's a dwindling thing compared to the way data packs are right now. Anyway, I'm going to log out and log back in very briefly, just to take the local area network thing down. Not because I'm worried or anything, just because I want to be able to pause the game and have everything actually pause. It might be useful in the dragon fight at some point. So, with the ender chest in hand, and we've got a silk touch pick, we've got arrows, the infinity bow will probably need repairing after 1 or 2 fights. But we will see. Yeah, I like how this room turned out. I'm a big fan of how this room turned out. I did, at a couple of people's recommendation, put a shulker box over there to make it look like there's a shulker on the end city. It is just the box, though. It's not the actual mob. Make a time-lapse of me beating the Ender Dragon. It wouldn't be that entertaining. Like a replay mod thing, maybe. But, like, a time-lapse just from, like, the top down of me fighting the dragon, I feel like you wouldn't really be able to tell what was happening. So, here's the deal, right? This is not the north side, is it? No, this is the east. And Juliet is the sun. Where is the north side, then? Can't remember my compass directions. That should be north. Over there. Why do I do face cam on stream but not videos? Because the videos are usually tutorials, and my face is not part of a tutorial. Okay, so this is north. Basically, we want to have an end gateway that generates there, which we don't have yet. And that is significant because all of the other cardinal directions, south, east, and west, all have their gateways generated. Like, if you stand by the portal and look that way, the one behind that pillar over there is the eastern gateway. Or the western one, depending on which direction I'm facing right now. I forget. I think that's west. I thought you said west. Alright, he's gone in the portal now. Looking forward to meeting an angry Enderman when I get back to my spawn point. Paranor, stop it. But then, yeah, the east, south, and... Stop! Dang it, guy. The east, south, and west gateways have all already been generated, and it is easiest to trick the game into generating gateways in a specific place if you're using the... basically the major directions. So let's grab 4 of these, and let's put the rest back in here, just in case something happens. Citadel Worm has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support, and let's see some sub hype in the chat. Do I think the bedrock mechanic of moving chests would be cool in Java? Absolutely it would, yeah. Like, I would love to be able to move containers in Java. I think that would be the best. Alright, here we go, folks. Dragon fight number 1. Let's do this. And at some point in the future, we will do an episode about moving the end crystals while they're generating like this as well, because that will be a lot of fun to do. Also, that completely regenerated a tower that I'd already partially mined out, so that's kind of fun. And right now, some weird stuff is happening with the way the towers are regenerating. Because you see this? Like, that worries me, because I feel like that shouldn't happen. I think the dragon fight is a little bit bugged out right now, and it's generating the towers weirdly. Nothing else seems to be out of place to where it normally is, so I am slightly confused by that. But anyway, let's fight the dragon and stuff. take out some of these while we can. Oh, overshot that one a little bit. All these weird end crystal placements, though. Nope, missed that one. Up. See if we can shoot this one down through the cage. Nope, not happening. It's so difficult to get that shot through the iron bars. No empty bottles? No, I don't need Dragon's Breath. I don't use lingering potions for anything. I should do an episode where I just start using tipped arrows because I wouldn't do it otherwise. Kind of like I did with the blast furnace, where I'm like, if I'm not using this, then what's the point? Sub-emotes are so great. Well, thank you. 2 of them are designed by my good friend Joel Duggan. The other one is by a talented artist named Amalith. If you feel like checking any of these folks out, they are very creative peeps. They do good work. I'm pretty sure Joel is usually open for commissions. He's working on some sub-badges for me now as well. Hey, Elkhorn, what's up? Welcome along. You made it. Hey, we got that one. Nice. Some free iron bars, anyone? Oh, hello, dragon. Hello, dragon. Gave us a bit of a love tap there. Nope, not happening. I probably looked at so many Endermen at this point. I tried befriending the dragon instead of fighting it. I mean, I wish I could, because that would be a lot easier than this process. I just don't want to break the crystal, like, through the bars. I don't want to do it the traditional way. I want to do it the fun way. But I guess we'll probably have to do it this way. Let's break out a few of these. Wait for the dragon to settle down. Settle down, lady. Probably going to come straight through the tower in a second. What is this about? There we go. Easy enough. Away! Now let's see what the dragon do. Trying not to look at the Enderman. Land on top and clear the bars. We could. Give us that northern gateway. Yeah, it seems to be flying around the towers more than it normally does. So there does seem to be a little bit of weird AI going on here. Because normally by this point it's come down on the bedrock portal a couple of times. Okay. We got some interesting flying maneuvers happening. It's trying to pathfind to the portal. There we go. Right, this is normal. Sorry about the noise. Let me turn that down a little bit. Slightly better, probably. Whoa, hi. Still does so much damage, oh my gosh. The Endermen are helping me. Nope! Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of damage that thing does. Pigs in space! Trying to get in a cheeky sip of tea during this fight. How cool would it be if you could saddle the dragon? You can do stuff like that with a couple of mods, and I think it's cool in theory, but in practice I would probably never use it. It's already hard enough flying with a Elytra at the best of times. It's like trailing dragon's breath, which is quite interesting, I suppose. Okay, and now we have to go in for the swipe at the back half. Dang it, it's quite difficult to get the hitbox. Hello? Hi. Help. Have I tried with a crossbow? Not really. I feel like bows are always going to be better because of power, so I don't tend to think about crossbows all that much for this stuff. Okay, wow. Can I... Whoa! Hello! Can I attack, please? Seto with 200 bits. Thank you so much for the bits and sharing those pride emotes in chat. Whoa! Seriously, like, the dragon's hitbox is kind of off as well. It feels like either that or I'm not, like, not aiming right for some reason today. Hope that's the dragon aggroing Enderman and not me. Really don't have much fun dealing with them whilst I'm... Nope, I got that guy. I got that guy. It is not fun dealing with Enderman while the dragon fight is going on. Especially when there's multiples of them and I'm just trying to watch the dragon die. Okay. We did not get that North Gateway. That's our new one. Let me settle down and regenerate some health here. Why is my health not regenerating faster? It's taking a minute. For some reason. Yeah, my mom plays with 500 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. I think I need to switch to steak or something. I need something that the saturation refills faster. Took a fair bit of damage in that as well. You lot need to chill out. I had to put all these Endermen in a timeout. I don't really have enough gold for golden carrots. That's the problem. Will you just behave? Honestly. Can't take them anywhere. Anyway, that's one dragon down. Let's regroup a little bit here. 360 people in the chat right now. What is happening? Welcome along, guys. Hello. Sorry, I can take a moment or two to talk to people. Is it possible to land on the dragon? I mean, the dragon isn't a solid thing. You would just glitch through it if it didn't do damage to you. Sit them on the naughty step. Yeah, basically. So yeah, I can say hi to people. Hi. How we doing? Wizard. Ryder. Good to see you guys. Motoko. Rivalis, nice end hub. Thank you. Ari, hello. Gaming Tapir. Good to see you, Copper Cat. Nice to see you too. Talismans is here as well. What's up? Hello. Welcome along. Don't beds go boom in the end? Yeah, that's why I have the fire around it. That's kind of like a reference to that. Hey, here's another zombie pigman who's going to end up in the end for some reason. Thank you guys for dropping the follows, by the way. We are coasting towards 10k here on Twitch. Slipwhip with the 1,000 seems good. Thank you so much for that generous donation of bits. And wow, unlocking some pride emotes in the chat. There we go. Great stuff. Thank you so much. Portal Room came out fantastic. Thank you. I'm really happy with it. I think it's kind of cool to have some shadowy stuff up in the corners. That, by the way, it only has one block between the top of the island and the ceiling. People were worried that was going to spawn stuff, but you can't see because of the video compression, but that is one block from the ceiling. What flavor tea is this? I have Lapsang Souchong today. It's like a smoky blend, which is really very nice. What other end projects do I have planned? I'm going to build an Ender at some point this week, probably in Thursday or Friday's episode. And tomorrow, or yeah, I guess the other episode this week is going to be terraforming sections of the end and trying to find villagers and stuff to populate it. So we're going to build an end village. And that project might end up going into next week because it's going to be quite a big, like, villager curing thing. But considering that villagers don't get attacked by Endermen at all, it's going to be a lot more peaceful trying to cure zombie villagers in the end than it is elsewhere. See you later, J. Dinger. Castle in the end. Yeah, we could do something like that. Let's take stock. We've got fireworks. Bow durability is still looking okay. And are those Endermen still aggro at me, or does that change when you leave the dimension? I think I just probably got outside of their aggro radius. What do you do when your village only has one villager? Find another zombie villager and cure it. That will also get you tons of discounts, so that's probably a good idea. Otherwise, find another village in a close-by vicinity and move a villager from there over to your current village with minecarts. Seto with another 200 pride bits. Thank you for the bits. Do villagers need beds? They don't need them, no. Currently, they only need them if you want them to do certain things, like if you want them to spawn iron golems, for example. They will need to be able to sleep regularly. But the rest of the time, they don't technically need beds to exist. And beds don't prevent them from refreshing trades. As far as I can tell, not being able to sleep doesn't, like, cause them to change prices or anything. But they need beds for specific, like, pathfinding stuff and for golem spawning mechanics to operate. And that seems to be true of 113.3 or 114.3 as well. How do I have so many end gateways? You beat the dragon a lot of times. Not enough, though, because we still have to generate this north one, which means probably time for another fight in a couple of seconds. Just trying to patch up that hole there down to my wither killing station, mainly because I don't want it to be a problem when we have to fight the dragon. If I have a little bit of extra height around the portal. Because remember, the Ender Dragon won't destroy end stone blocks, so anything we build out of end stone will be fine. And if I build a kind of barrier around the side here, then I can jump up and attack it, and hopefully get in the hitbox that I was missing in the last fight. That's the theory. Now let's see if we can put it into practice. They need beds for breeding. Yeah, that's the other thing. They need beds for to increase the village population. Alright, let's go. Next fight. How many times am I going to fight the dragon? As many as it takes to generate the portal on this side of the island. Hey, Vibronic, what's up? For all portals, it's 20. Yeah, like, I don't know how many gateways I still have left. But, yeah, in theory, we might have to fight the dragon, like, 10 or 12 times. I've got enough end crystals right now for 10. I'll read that sub message in a second. Thank you so much for subscribing. The randomness of arrows slightly off center. Okay, that's all but the caged ones. Okay, that's the other one. I thought this one over here was supposed to be a caged one. That confused me for a minute. Did they change the way the dragons respawned? No. Not to my knowledge. I can probably take out that crystal from down here if I just get the shot right. Yes, nailed it. Got some bars just dropping down in front of me. So yeah, that's weird. The two small pillars with the cages on seem to have been... It's almost like they've been reduced to kind of apple cores a little bit. And so I can shoot up through there and actually take out the end crystal. Yeah, there we go, with a a somewhat accurate shot. Nice. Yes, and free iron bars. We'll be collecting a lot of those if these fights go on for a while. So right now I'm kind of favouring taking out the dragon with a bow in the air. That seems to be working out better for me than trying to fight it on the ground. It also seems to be spending more time in the air for some reason. Oh, we just missed that one. Okay, need to heal up a little bit. Look at all those aggro endermen. Yeah, the dragon has an entourage. Look at all those chickens. Okay, I think I looked at one of those endermen. Probably don't want to be on the ground right now. Yeah, a few of them are ending up in that magma block trap, which is fun. I like that. Means more ender pearls for me with very little effort. Whoa, okay, yeah, I wanted to get out of there. I could potentially just have been juggled to death by the dragon at that point. Hi there. Endermen are just self-conscious. I like how everybody comes up with such wholesome reasons for mobs being mad at players. Like, Endermen are self-conscious, creepers just need a hug. That kind of stuff. This isn't going to end well for me. Dragon, like, wheels around like it's ready to charge. Yep, there we go. And that's when we need to exit. Skeletons want a new body. Well, that's at least slightly sinister. Come back here, you space lizard! Okay, now it's doing its weird, like, snake dive towards the portal. And so now I hop down and I can see if I can take it out like this if I'm not being attacked by the ender lads. Yeah, see, what's this about? I'm seeing particles on the dragon's body, but it's not doing any damage. So that looks like I should be hitting it, but I'm not. I am confused. It also does so much damage up close like that. Ender Squad. The Minecraft boy band waiting to happen. I am confusion. I am confusion. I really wish you could punch the dragon's fireballs back at it like you can with ghasts. That would make a lot more fun out of this fight. Play some fireball tennis. Anyone still mad at me? Yep, you are. Okay, slightly better scenario that time. Not bad overall. What do I want in 1.15? Tempting as it is to say a break. No, I want what I've always wanted with Minecraft, really. Coloured lighting. And a slightly more expansive system of weapons. A slightly better balanced system of weapons. And armour. 500 bits from Yeah My Mom Plays. Thank you so much. And Throwlash, thank you for the 500 bits. Which you may have gone by now, but sent that through. Good luck with the dragons. Can't wait to catch another stream. Appreciate the support. And MP Act HD, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. you get a return to sender if you send your own fireball at a ghast? I don't have fireballs, though. I wish I did. No, Marta, Minecraft is not my only source of income. At least not right now. It is the main one. I'll give you that. It is the main one right now, but it is not the only one. Gonna leap straight into the next fight because, once again, we still don't have our northern gateway. And yeah, I do want to do an episode about moving end crystals around, but we can do that anytime. You don't actually need to... The gateway moving is the only thing where you need to do it by a certain time. Like, the end crystals will still regenerate after any dragon fight. Can trade golden carrots from a master farmer. Yes, so I gathered. And I might do that at some point because having those as a food source when I don't have a proper high-yield gold farm right now might be a good idea. Set up with the 200 bits. Oh, shoot, here we go again. Yup. No rest for the wicked, right? When I did this in the creative copy of the world, when I was trying to work out how many end gateways I would have to generate, I think it did it after 7. And I don't think they generate in a specific order, so chances are we will just have to keep trying until we win. Nice. Third time's a charm. This is a weird light show. Yup. This is the dragon's rave. Its own personal rave. Sweet. Okay, we're there. Now let's keep looking up. And let's take down dragon number 3. So welcome to Choppin' Tuesday, where we fight a dragon. It's the Ender Squad rave. That's Ender Squad's new single is out now on iTunes and wherever all music is sold. You can get it on Music Disc. So to set up the end gateway spawning location, I had to do a significant amount of flying over the void. And that is terrifying. I had to have the coordinates on basically the entire time so I would know which way up was. And at one point I got down to like Y30 because I wasn't paying attention. And I was just trying to like spam rockets, and I heard myself gathering speed. I was like, okay, good, I'm just gaining speed because of the amount of rockets I'm using. Turns out I was falling, and I could not tell. Ain't fun. Oh, it's gone. Where'd it go? I can hear it. I can definitely hear it. It doesn't seem to come up, like, quite as high as this pillar. But it also doesn't tend to, like, fly too close to this pillar. So maybe that one over there might be a better location to snipe from. But after a while, the dragon tries to stick on the inside of this ring of pillars. It typically doesn't come too high up or too far out once the crystals are gone. That's why pilots have instruments. Right, yeah. I can see why. See, it doesn't really want to come up this high. It's fine breathing on me. But it's not really coming over here. There is a little bit of just, like, slightly off-kilter AI happening. It's not game-breaking, but it is unusual to me, it feels like. In space, no one can hear you, cha-cha-cha. giving me the jukes today. This is why I have an infinity bow, folks. I miss the days when snowballs would actually hurt the dragon. That always felt like a fun way of taking down the dragon. For real? It's just circling up there. After I said it couldn't get up there as well. Clearly it heard me. One more hit. Nice. It's fight number 3. Seriously, where are all the Endermen? They're all hiding behind those pillars. Alright, there we go. What's my favorite kind of snack? Good question. I have a lot of different favorites. Are we talking savory or sweet, or do I have to pick one out of all of them? Because I probably couldn't. I had a bit of a peanut M&M thing for a while, but I haven't really been eating them much recently. Seto with another 200 bits. Another one bites the dust. Still no northward portal. That's 3 dragons down. In theory, we might have to generate all of these, which I didn't want to do. Hey, Marshmallow, what's up? Let's head back to the stronghold so I can regroup a little bit and we can chat. Oh, he's got up there somehow. Great work. How many gateways am I up to total? I should count them, actually. I can't really tell. I think it's over 10 at this point. I can probably tell by how many times I've fought the dragon, actually. Let's look at mobs. Ender Dragon. I've killed 11, so 11 gateways must be there. Creeper killed me 1 time. Charge Creeper killed me 1 time. Why do I need the northern gate? Okay, so, for those of you who are just joining us, the goal of this stream is to generate the northern gateway of the ring of 20 end gateways that you can get around the central island. The reason for that is because I have set up a thing out in the void where we're basically manipulating the position that a kind of distant end gateway will spawn so that it can spawn you out in the void. And the idea is that we can build an ender out there, and just to demonstrate that the way Minecraft calculates those end gateways is not fixed. It can be manipulated to suit the player. And yeah, the overall idea behind it is to build Nembon's Enderman farm out there, and I'm following Nembon's instructions to basically manipulate the end gateway to go where I want to go. Can you change the bits to money? I mean, bits are basically money. People buy them, and then every bit counts as a cent, and when Twitch pays out streamers, they basically get revenue equivalent to the amount of bits they've gotten. Plus whatever people subscribe and stuff. Why does it have to be the north one? Because I've set up all of the stuff in the void on the north side of it. It's easier to do it with the 4 compass points because they are all straight lines, basically. And all of the other lines are straight too, but they're diagonal, if you get me. So, like, it's harder to determine exactly where Minecraft is going to spawn any of the ones on a diagonal, whereas with the straight lines, it's a lot easier. Is there no ad revenue? Not for me as an affiliate, and for Twitch partners, they get a cut of ad revenue, but it's really not very much compared to the amount of ad revenue you get through YouTube, because the amount of viewers you get on Twitch is typically lower. And they only get, like, 1 ad. And people don't tend to play ads much. Like, you have the option of playing an ad from your Twitch dashboard. I've never done it. I don't see the point. Like, if I go for a bathroom break, I don't want you to have you guys sit through an ad or something. But, you know. You also get the option to skip ads if you are subscribed to a channel. So, yeah, like it really doesn't make much difference. This is what everything looks like from below, by the way. So I actually put a fair amount of terraforming work into each of these islands, and I think they came out pretty well. They don't look exactly like the islands that you get spawning in the end, though. Because those are all even-numbered sizes. Like, I was taking down a few of them, and I looked at them and was like, this is all, like... It all ends in, like, a 2 at the bottom, and it goes out in even numbers. What am I standing on? This is glass. There's like a layer of black glass down here. See? I mean, you can't, probably, but, like, I have black stained glass in my inventory now. So that's what's preventing the mob spawns. Although there are problems with mobs still being able to spawn on transparent blocks in 1.14.2, which I think are fixed in 1.14.3. So occasionally I've got a couple of zombies down here. But the fact of the matter is, if you come into the room via that nether portal up here, then you're already only about 25 blocks away from the other edge of the room, and mobs won't spawn within a 23-block radius of the player anyway. So when you enter this room, you are basically causing it to be spawn-proof just by being within a certain radius. Probably doesn't quite reach the far corners, but the illusion of this room makes it look much larger than it is. So it's pretty cool. I'm waiting for this guy to walk into the end portal, because he's going to do it. Get in the end, pig dude. Nice. If you're good at the game, you can just stand on the void wearing all of your best stuff. It's like walking on water. What is Joel Duggan's in-game name? He is just Joel Duggan, isn't he? Have I watched Pikachu yet? Detective Pikachu? No, I haven't. I wasn't planning on going to see that, but I might see if when it comes to like Netflix or any kind of home video thing, I might catch it then. Marta, please don't ask personal questions about my income and stuff. Like, it's not really something I want to disclose, and it's not really good form to ask. What's today's YouTube video? Today I built this room. I'm pretty sure that came out today, right? That wasn't yesterday's video? I kind of get them confused in my head because I'm always recording a day ahead, you know? Hey, man. You feel like I, of all people, should know that, but occasionally I put this video up and then I completely forget what the what the deal is from that point onwards. Thanks, Vibronic. I'm very, very happy to be sitting where I am right now in terms of YouTube subs. And yes, my my silver play button arrived and is like, it's over there right now. But I'm not going to open it until my wife gets back in town because I want to be able to celebrate with her. Do zombie pigmen attack villagers? No. They do not. Right, round 4. Northern Gateway hype. Oh, I should probably put these crystals and stuff away. I've made a terrible mistake. There we go. Am I going to do a video with the play button? Yeah, that's the plan. I also want my wife to help me film a vlog where I, like, open it and stuff. Seto with the Ender Squad hype. Thank you so much for the extra 200 bits. Folks in chat, enjoy your pride emotes. Ah! That one blew up in my face. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and fix my bow after this, I think. Wow. The double. Double dragon. Things to do. Fix bow. Get more fireworks. Try not to die quite so much. Do I have control over my YouTube growth? I mean, I can't exactly control the amount of people who are subscribing to me. Ultimately, like, you make videos and hope people turn up. That's just how YouTube works. Okay, let's head over here and continue to be confused about how we're doing damage to the dragon. Okay, you can sort of get to it there. So I guess we're going for, like, the body just by the neck. We're aiming to decapitate, and that's not going super well for us right now. Yeah. Duck. It's not a duck, it's a dragon. I got lucky with the YouTube algorithm with that Woodland Mansion video. Yeah, that one is crazy. I've no idea how that got as many views as it has. It just ended up on people's, like, recommended screens on their homepage, and that's kind of what blew it up. But then, I'm not going to take, like, no credit for that, because I have clearly made a video that people feel is worth clicking on when it shows up on their homepage, so I feel like I can still at least take some of the credit for having produced something people want to see, you know? Is the Ender Dragon still too loud for you guys? By the way, I'm looking at the levels in OBS, and I slightly worry that it's getting too loud at times, but as long as you guys can still hear me and stuff, then that's where we want to be, really. Yeah. Okay, that was a lag spike where the dragon was just hovering in midair like a harrier for a second. It's not too loud but noticeable. Okay, as long as it's not too loud, then that's good. But yeah, I don't want it to be like drowning me out, you know? I think when you get up close, it's super loud, but the rest of the time, hopefully, it should be okay. Also, I like how I don't have a flame bow, but whenever the dragon is getting damage and the arrows are bouncing off it, they turn into flame arrows, which is something I'd never really noticed before. Yeah, it can't quite get this high. That's a bit weird. If it was too loud, you'd let me know. Fair enough. As long as it's tolerable for you, then that's what counts. You're the ones who have to watch the stream. Looks like you're swatting mosquitoes with all the Endermen. It does, right? Big dragon, tiny Enderman. See, it turns the arrows into flame arrows when they bounce off. How cool is that? All these little behaviors and stuff that I've never really seen before. Okay, that's dragon number 4. That still looks like we don't have a north gateway. Where's the new one at? Like, they normally light up. They have, like, that beacon thing. Over there. So that's 12, I guess. That's 12, I guess. How many gateways can there be? 20. So, in theory, we only have 8 more dragon fights left. Possibly less than that. But yeah, that is north. We want a gateway to be spawning basically like there. Do a gate count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then there's like a broad stretch of nothing. And then we get back around and that's the first one again. So yeah, there are 12. Which makes sense. It adds up. We fought 12 dragons total in this world. We'll get there eventually. Thank you, Seto, for the extra 200 bits. And Conweb with 200 bits as well. Just binge watch the Minecraft Survival Guide. Awesome content. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying the series. I'm glad you're here to see it live as well. Can you regenerate a previously broken end gate by killing a dragon? No, but the idea is that you can't, like, break end gates anyway. 12 gateways. But yeah, still no north. But that's fine. I'm going to go and repair my bow just because I get paranoid. It's not going to be a a huge thing to repair it now. And this bow doesn't have mending, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on the durability of it, and I want to make sure it's up to the challenge. Because we're probably firing maybe a stack's worth of arrows in a dragon fight, which unbreaking doesn't work like 100% of the time, obviously, so you kind of need to make sure your bow is at least in some well repaired. Any thoughts about Minecraft Dungeons? I love the look of it. I think it's going to look like it looks like a really fun game. I don't think it's going to have the longevity that traditional Minecraft does, like core Minecraft, Minecraft Prime does, because this game is all about creativity, whereas it's clearly, like, Dungeons is clearly very much an action RPG sort of thing. But it looks like Diablo in Minecraft, and that seems like a cool format for games. I've already had a bunch of people say, like, do you want to team up? Should we go play this? And yeah, when the game comes out, I will definitely give it a try. Minecraft Earth, the same. I'm looking forward to seeing what Minecraft Earth can be used for. And if you guys haven't heard the podcast this week, and for those of you who don't know, I do a podcast every week called The Spawn Chunks that's all about Minecraft. We occasionally interview guests, we go over news, we have like some fun chats about the state of Minecraft in general and where things are at with the game. Okay, this is getting expensive to repair though. I think I might wait. I might get a couple more fights out of it first. Will I stream it? Will I stream Dungeons? Maybe. Will I stream Minecraft Earth? Probably not, because that would involve a lot of battery drain, and my phone is not that good. But I might even get, like, a new phone or a tablet or something in order to play Minecraft Earth, if that meant I could record it as well. But, yeah, Minecraft Dungeons looks kind of great, and I do hope that they use it as a testing ground for some features which could be added to the regular game. But yeah, on the Spawn Chunks the other day, we talked a bit about Minecraft Dungeons. We talked a little bit about Minecraft Earth, and we had a guest on whose name is Adam Clark. He is the guy who was the voice of Wizard Keen in Wonder Quest, and he did a bunch of like arts council and arts sort of institution work. He's done like a lot of work with schools and using Minecraft as an educational tool and stuff like that. And he brought up some stuff about Minecraft Earth that I hadn't even considered, because its use as like a classroom tool, if you have like some sort of ancient structure that somebody has rebuilt in Minecraft and you just like place it in the classroom, and then kids with mobile devices, if they have like, you know, school tablets that they can use, will just be able to like look around, like, I don't know, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus or something, like that you can recreate a bunch of landmarks that they would not be able to do like field trips to for obvious reasons, and you could teach history that way, and you could kind of go into some really interesting stuff about geography that way. I feel like that would be such an interesting use for it in like a classroom context that I hadn't even considered, because I was just like, I'm going to turn my backyard into a really cool like jungle biome or something. Excited for the FF8 remake. To be honest, it doesn't look all that different from just playing it on PC. And FF8 was never my favorite of the games, so I can understand why people are excited, because all the other games have gotten like remasters and that kind of stuff by now. But like FF8 doesn't really excite me all that much. The 7 remake stuff looks good, but I'm not that like taken by FF8. It's not encouraging me to play it again now that I've played it recently. What other games have been my main game before, and what games did I grow up with? In terms of my main game, like, I guess I played a lot of the Final Fantasy RPGs, and that was kind of what I liked playing for a substantial portion of my life. Like, RPGs where you could have one game and you could just dedicate, like, hundreds of hours to it. I never really got into, like, racing games and sports games. I played a lot of, like, the Tony Hawk skateboarding games, because they were very good kind of arcade experiences for skating. And that was kind of fun. That sort of appealed to me. The music was always great. I feel like the music from the Tony Hawk soundtrack inspired like so many people's musical taste in a certain era. But yeah, I guess I grew up playing those and like all of the Sonic the Hedgehog games on the Sega Mega Drive and stuff. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was baller. It was a great game and also had a very, very good soundtrack. I've been following bits and pieces of E3. I haven't really seen everything, but then most of the games don't really interest me. Like, I'm not really into, like, shooters and those kind of, like, brawler 4v4 type games that they were showing at the start of the Xbox conference. Like, Bleeding Edge and stuff like that. I'm not... That kind of stuff doesn't really interest me. I was in it for Minecraft Dungeons. I saw bits and pieces of the Square Enix thing. But, like, the wider world of gaming is not something that I have such a great connection to compared to what I do with very specific focused experiences like Minecraft. So I've been watching bits and pieces. Mostly I've been watching like other people's coverage of it. There's a couple of streamers that I follow who are restreaming it and giving their commentary as they go, and there are some things where I would probably not check out a game myself, but I would definitely watch somebody else play it. And maybe that's just because I don't want to spend the money, but also because I feel like some people are very entertaining with the way they play certain games. So I would definitely watch somebody who was, like, talented at playing shooters compared to, like, getting a shooter myself and trying to play that. Because if it doesn't have a single-player campaign, I'm out. I'm not that into competitive multiplayer. You made your graduation cap a dirt block? Is that what I read? I think that scrolled up kind of quickly, but that's pretty cool. To me, at least. Is that guy angry at me? He is. Okay. Bad. Get in the air. Eat chicken. Yeah, that's what I need. I need more food for this fight. See, as long as I don't take any damage, don't have to heal. Right? This is where we need the roll safe meme. Get in the air, eat chicken. That should be a motto for an airline. Well, I'm going to abandon this particular roost and try this one instead. Okay, it's going back to the portal. Get a couple of hits in before it lands. Nice. KFC Airways. Oh gosh, no. Is the Enderman farm gonna break? This one? It probably has a little bit already. Doesn't matter though. I'm gonna build another one tomorrow. Can you uncraft a map? What, like, turn it back into paper and a compass? No. You can't uncraft very much in this game. Resource blocks, maybe. Is that a guy getting mad at me? Or was it mad at the dragon? I can't tell if I can look at Endermen from this distance and they actually get annoyed or not. I wonder what my, like, hit-to-miss ratio is with these dragon fights. It's probably, like, 3/4 misses. It's definitely not 50-50. I've definitely not hit as many times as I've missed. I've missed way more. I wish I had 50-50 accuracy with a bow. Right, if we don't get the north gateway this time, since so many people have been asking me, I will actually go out to the part of the end where I've got this thing set up so you can see what's going on. Because I feel like that will probably answer quite a few people's questions about what we're doing here. Oh. Got a few of them just trapped in the farm. How will I get there without a gate? I'm gonna go down there and try and melee it. Well, that didn't work. Slightly more accurate now I'm on the ground, though. Seto with another 200 bits. Here's to this one being the right gate. Let's see. Let's see if the lucky bits will help. The problem is, if you just want to get one gateway, if you want to generate a single gateway, it's fairly straightforward. But if you want to get a specific gateway, it's like effectively a 1 in 20 chance that just decreases each time. Eventually you'll get it, but it's going to take a while. Even when the movement is predictable, I can't hit it very well, and it can hit me very well. Flying around all over the place. Oh no, now my eye is itching. My eye is itching, chat. Oh god. Ah. This isn't good. Why does my body betray me at a time like this? Heyo. We did it. Now to see if any of the Endermen are mad at me. No, I think we're in the clear. Oh my eye. Oh gosh. Oh, that feels so good. Now that it's itched. Oh, sorry about that. Excuse me for a second. So I think that gateway there is not the north one. It is in the north direction, which is I take it as a kind of a diss. But no, that is the one that is. Yeah, it's 1% off north, I guess. Oh, my eye. Okay. So that's dragon number, what, 13? Did we say? Yeah, dragon 13. Very cool. So I'm going to show you what's going on here and why we're trying so hard to beat the dragon so many times. The bits didn't work, I'm sorry. Okay, can I throw accurately from here? I can. Good. So where are we at right now? I just took a screenshot by mistake. If we head this way, yes, okay. If we head... Good, Elytra is fully repaired. If I go this way, yes, there's an end ship there, don't worry about it. I've seen it, I'll come back to it. But right here, we have a very long bridge made out of leaves. Out over the void. And so this line right here is 0 on the x-axis. That is directly north of the main island. And normally, if we left the end gateway to spawn, it would spawn on this landmass over here. Basically, it gets to apparently about 64 chunks out from the center of the world, the end island. And then it starts looking for places where it can spawn an end gateway. And most of those are on big land masses like this, or the tiny little islands that you see spawning around everywhere. And so what we're trying to do is set up an area out over there where the end gateway thinks it can spawn next to a big island, but it's actually not. It's actually a spot out in the void where we can effectively just have a teleporting gateway to wherever we want to go. And in this case, by going all the way down here, you'll notice that we have 4 pieces of end stone set up. And these are actually in 4 different chunks. If I hit F3 and G, you'll see that like the chunk boundaries are on this side, and on these 2 sides. And this is what allows us to effectively trick Minecraft into putting an end gateway above one of these 4 pieces of end stone. And then we're going to build an ender around here, and because it is so far away from all of the other land masses, we're going to be able to get incredible spawn rates for End City. For an Enderman farm. And this is all thanks to Nembon MC, who made a very good video about this back in 1.9. It's a very old video at this point, but all of the mechanics are still there because none of this has changed. And yeah, effectively, what it does when it generates an end gateway, when you go through it for the first time, is... Oh, Boog is here. Hello. Really Poogalicious with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Pixels. Great to have you on board. Good to see you. How are you? Get your space cup. Have some tea. Space cup looks spacier than ever now we're out in the void. But yeah, the whole deal here is that it casts basically like a straight line from the center of the island about 1,000 blocks north, and when it hits endstone, it goes, okay, I'm going to spawn a gateway. And normally it would spawn it over there, but because we placed this endstone here in basically like the minimum amount of space that it needs to spawn a gateway, it will just spawn it above one of these. It's sort of halfway to being magic, but that's some Minecraft shenanigans happening right there, and I'm very excited about doing this. You've heard of Space Cup, now you have Void Cup. Void Cup sounds like a coffee shop I would visit. Have so much to learn about Minecraft and you look like you know a thing or two. Oh gosh, you don't even know. Like, I had so much fun in your stream the other day. If anyone is not subscribed to Really Boogalicious, by the way, very, very, like, very happy, very good vibes, great stream, and I hope to see more. But yeah, brand new to Minecraft, and I was hanging out, helping out in the stream the other day, and there are lots of new people getting into. No, you don't. Okay, threw an ender pearl into the void. Not great. There are lots of new people getting into Minecraft. It's such a cool time. It's such a cool time to be around. And yeah, Boog, if you don't know more about me, I have a YouTube channel where I make a survival series called the Minecraft Survival Guide, where I basically teach people how to play Minecraft. And this is the stream version of that. So this is me putting in all of the behind the scenes work that needs to go into making that series like a daily show at this point. And so yeah, if you're after people who know a thing or two about Minecraft, I'm probably a good first port of call. I don't know everything, and I'm still learning a lot about the game myself in terms of like all of the crazy technical stuff you can do with it. But I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now, and the audience seems to be as well. By the way, we still have like 350 people here. What is this? This is crazy stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go and repair my bow now because somebody told me about that in the chat, and yeah, I feel like it took enough damage in that fight. I mean, it got like 20 less durability, which is probably not like that much in the grand scheme of things, but I get worry. I get worry. Did Ike for life with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Thank you so much for the support. There we go. We're in the portal. So if anybody else is new, by the way, may as well do the introduction for this world. This world is a single-player world, and everything in it I have built myself. So we have a lot of crazy stuff built here. I've put nearly probably 700 hours into this world now. But that's also over about 160 YouTube episodes at this point. So we have a lot of cool stuff built. But this is my main building area. This is my town, which is slowly coming together. Building projects don't happen all that often because I've usually got lots of like tutorial stuff to do, and I don't tend to do build tutorials all that much. But got a big castle here, and we've got houses and ravines, and got a nice junk boat over here in the swamp and stuff like that. All of this stuff is like, it's all work in progress, but it's all part of the big, huge world that we've got here. What's my record view count on Twitch? Azuma raided me with about 1,000 people recently, and I think it got up to about 1,100 or 1,200 at one point, which was nuts. Lady Isabetta, thank you so much for the 250 Pride bits. Sharing that Pride love in the chat. I appreciate you. But yeah, Azuma raided me like right at the start of one of my streams, basically. So we had a ton of people here for ages, which was very cool. Need an Azuma podcast. I would love to talk to Azuma about the business of being a server admin. Like, it probably sounds really boring to most people, but I think that's sort of his specialism at this point, and it would be really cool to hear him talk about that. Like, he does so much good stuff. He's like a really good all-round Minecrafter to watch, but I think he has a lot of interesting insight into the business of maintaining a survival server as big as Hermitcraft and as laggy as Hermitcraft. And he uses that as the topic for some of his videos as well, so evidently he'd be open to talking about it. But I'll have to get in touch and see what he wants to chat about, if he's interested in being on the show at some point. Obviously, they're all busy guys, the Hermits, so I have to, you know, be respectful of their time and everything. Especially with 1.14 issues. Gosh, I almost don't want to bring that up to him. I feel like that would be, you know, that could be some trauma that we don't really want to unpack on the show. But, yeah, I'm very keen. Oh, Book, thank you for the host. Oh, how sweet of you. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to get people whose, like, if not necessarily their main thing, then it would be great to get people talking about stuff that isn't just like, here's how I play survival Minecraft. Like yesterday's episode of the podcast. Wylon with 2 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you for the 2 months. Yesterday's episode of the podcast was all about using Minecraft in education, and I want to do more episodes like that, where the topic is more than just, here is somebody that we really like from the building community, or just like technical Minecraft or whatever. Vin's MD with the host as well, thank you. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to get people talking about other aspects of the game than just survival gameplay. It'd be good to get people from build teams on the show, and more educational people and more marketplace partners, folks who really focus on like creating mini games and that map making experience. Obviously, this is all over like a wide stretch of time. Like I don't want to have a ton of guests in a row and basically exhaust all of the possibilities for guests within the space of a couple of months. So we'll fit the survival gamers and the builders in there as well. But where can you find the podcast? If you go to thespawnchunks.com, or we have a YouTube channel, or you just search for The Spawn Chunks in your favorite podcast app, you will find it there. Devil Senpai Lucian, thank you for the 25 bits. Right, the tea is finished. Although there might be a little bit more left in the pot, which I think I will pour out. Yep, there we go. Pouring out some tea for my homies. Since when am I playing Minecraft, and which version? Right now I have Minecraft 1.14.2, and I was playing since, I forget what the Xbox update number was. I think it was title update 14, but it was basically Xbox's equivalent of around Minecraft 1.3, but I started playing in 2014, in April 2014. Why don't I play on Hermitcraft? Because Hermitcraft is an invite-only server, and they haven't invited me. That's all. That is the reason you don't see lots of other people playing on Hermitcraft, is because, like, it's a crew of content creators, and they want to make sure that everybody who joins the server is gonna fit well. And also, like, once you get to your survival server, if you're doing, like, a YouTube server, once it gets to a certain size, it becomes very difficult to do much because of the sheer amount of people that you have to get together for, like, meetings and collabs and stuff. A lot of that behind-the-scenes stuff is actually integral to the long-term success of a survival server project like Hermitcraft. So I really think people underestimate the amount of like concerns that come into play when you're inviting new people to a server. New drinking game, take a shot every time Pixel has to explain why he's not on Hermitcraft. I also do the Hermitcraft recap, and I feel like even if I was invited to Hermitcraft, which, you know, let's not entertain that idea for too long, but it would be really weird deciding whether I would do it, because I currently do the Hermitcraft recap, and that's kind of a big part of my life right now, and giving that up would be really weird, even if it meant being able to play on the server that I do a recap for every week. It would just be, kind of strange. Feel like I would fit in, but it's up to the hermits to invite me. Also, like, a lot of people seem to think I would fit in because I feel like it feels like I know a lot about Minecraft. But really, I'm just making a tutorial series about some fairly basic stuff. And a lot of those guys are really beyond my level in terms of their technical ability and building ability. I feel like I'm too much of an all-rounder. I feel like they would look for people who are a bit more of, like, a specialist in one thing or another. But I don't know, that's just me. It's probably not what they look for at all, but then we can only guess about their preferences when it comes to inviting new people. As Lloyd does a salty recap about me, right? It seems like I know a lot and you walked in today to me killing my 13th drag. I mean, yeah, but once you get used to it, it's like riding a bike. You know, you get used to it after a while, and it becomes second nature after a certain point. I've had a lot of practice. They need more builders? They don't need more builders. Most people on that server are builders. Good times with Scar builds enough for everybody else anyway. Stopped playing for 6-ish years and it was pretty easy to get back into it, right? Ah! Get in the cage. Yes. Okay, one more. Don't look at the Enderman. Calm down, Hanzo. I really wish I knew that one phrase that he has, like his... when he does his ultimate. I never played Overwatch, so... Spam it in the chat if you know it. I never named the cats in the Cat Cafe. I haven't yet, no. I'm going to compile a list of names and do that probably on Thursday or Sunday stream this week. And then we'll show it in the episode, of course, because a lot of people on the episode gave me some good cat name ideas. Including a couple by email, which I plan to use. But, yeah, I did not name any of them yet. Seto, you have to go. No worries. Thank you again so much for all the generous donations of bits and for unlocking those pride emotes in the chat. And thank you for the good luck. Hopefully I won't need it, but we'll see. If I thought about applying or joining Zloy on Truly Bedrock. Again, it's one of those things where I just don't have time to do another survival series and this. And this is kind of what's working for my YouTube channel right now, so I don't really feel like giving it up and only going 3 days a week on Survival Guide when I could be doing 5. Doing SMP and collabs and stuff is fun, but I'm also having a lot of fun just going it alone. Assume jelly will be one. Oh, I named one jelly already. Like I found jelly and named jelly before I suggested that people in the comments should name the cats because it's jelly, right? Like you can't not. I have another one that's the same breed, like the same kind of color as jelly, that is probably going to be called peanut butter because that was a very popular suggestion in the comments and I thought that went very well. That was a good call. That's why you need a third one that's just called bread. What's the best way to get mending? Trade it from villagers in the long term, but AFK fish in the short term. Especially now that you can change villagers' professions using lecterns and stuff. It's super easy to get mending. A cat named Peanut Butter, we've reached a new low. What? Peanut Butter's an adorable name, are you kidding me? You better not be coming for Peanut Butter. I'm telling you. We're going to have problems. Choppin' Tuesday, yes. Today we are chopping the dragon. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You got bad breath, lady. There. Ah, Miss. Need more accuracy. Okay, one more hit and we're good. Come on down and fight. Nailed it. Great job. And now, North Portal, please. Dang it. Had my hopes up there for a second. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so we filled in that row. Oh gosh, Dragon 14, you guys. Dragon 14, pray for the North Gateway, am I right? King in the North Gateway. Calling a cat deja vu as the Matrix reference would be cool. I mean, I haven't seen the Matrix in so long. Keanu Reeves is kind of hot right now, though. In many senses of the word. No, you're breathtaking. That was the bit of E3 that I just went back and watched several times, because that was just great. That was real funny. Do you get less XP every time you kill the dragon? You don't get less, but you get a really high amount of XP for the first dragon fight, and then afterwards when you respawn it, you get, like, much less across the board. Like, you get 12,000 XP the first time, and then, like, 500 every other fight you do. How about an Enderman farm? That is the plan for later this week. That is part of the reason I'm trying to spawn a gateway on that side of the island, because that gateway is going to lead out to the Enderman farm. Get Keanu Reeves on the spawn chunks. Do you think he plays Minecraft? I'd love to ask him. What is my favourite tea? I love an English breakfast, but right now I'm drinking Lapsang Souchong from... There's a loose tea shop in Brighton, which does some really nice tea, and we go there quite regularly if we have the cash to spare, and... Occasionally people tip on the stream and are like, use this to buy tea, and so I'm like, okay, if I must. Tea shop, I know. Yeah, we got into loose leaf tea kind of recently, and I have like a little personal teapot that I always have on my streams, and yeah, lately I've just been drinking this really smoky Lapsang Souchong blend, which is lovely. Some people don't like it, and I can understand why it's an acquired taste, because it kind of tastes like the smell of a bonfire, but that's just really appealing to me. I don't know why. If I ever drink whiskey, which is rare, but I usually like a smokier whiskey too, so... Do I like jasmine tea? I haven't had enough jasmine tea. I once had some jasmine tea that was just very old, because we'd had it for ages, and we didn't have the loose leaf teapot at the time, so when I actually got the pot and tried it, it was like probably a year or two out of date, and it tasted so bad. But yeah, I think I've told that story before, but yes, it's something I would like to try at some point, but I haven't really tried it all that much. Jasmine green tea is delicious. Ah, that sounds like something to try then. Do I watch soccer? I don't really, no. It seems weird being an English guy not into football, but yeah, I just never really found the team to support, and I moved around a bunch. I wasn't like one of those people who moved, you know, every few years or whatever, but I grew up in Southampton. I went to university in Leeds. Like, who do I support from those? Southampton did well for a while, but I think I was never really like an athletic kid, so football just didn't appeal to me as a thing. I didn't really play it that much either. Do I like Earl Grey? I like Earl Grey, yeah. My parents do a blend of Earl Grey and English breakfast, which is really nice. Wonder if Keanu Reeves got involved with Cyberpunk the same way Stephen Merchant got involved with Portal 2. They assumed he was unavailable, contacted another British comedian, and then found out he was available. I don't know. Like, it'd be interesting to see if Keanu's involvement was just them going like, hey, John Wick's a good movie. What is my favourite sport? I like watching tennis. Favourite sport to play is probably baseball. But I don't play baseball in any kind of, like, organised thing. I just like hitting a ball around with a big bat, and that's fine. I also quite like swimming and cycling, but I don't do either of those enough. How about you guys? Sound off about your favourite sports in chat. Let's Let's get some recommendations for what my next big thing could be. And don't say competitive Minecraft. I imagine most people's favorite sport is like Skywars, right? Bouldering. I've been hearing a lot of people say like, yeah, going to climbing gyms and stuff is a good way to stop it. Freaking ender dudes. Yeah, like people are really into climbing and stuff lately. That seems like a good thing to do, especially as like a group activity as well. Chess. That's a great answer. I haven't played chess for a while. I'm not very good at chess. I'm not strategic enough. I can't think like several moves ahead when I play stuff like that. I just get overwhelmed by the possibilities. Tiddlywinks. Oh boy. It's been a while since we had a good match of Tiddlywinks as well. If we're talking board games, though, let's talk about board games, because I got to play Carcassonne a little bit with my parents, but we didn't get to play much else while they were here, because we were doing a bit of work around the house, and everyone was too tired in the evenings to do some stuff. But if you guys have board game recommendations as well, I would love to hear those. If folks aren't that into sports, if sports is not the thing. Dan Star, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Your favorite board game is Pandemic. Oh, Pandemic is so good. Yeah, I've played that with a friend has it and brings it over sometimes. And yeah, we usually have to play on like the lowest difficulty setting because we're like chickens, I guess. But it's a fun game. Slightly terrifying as well, but very fun. Could try Munchkin. Do we have a version of Munchkin, or I think we've only ever played that when friends have brought it round. We got, what did we get recently? We got Suro. Suro is really fun. We have Suro of the Seas, so it's like you're trying to navigate ships around giant monsters. That's great fun. Speaking of giant monsters, by the way, let's see if we can get in here with the sword. Nope, apparently not. The dragon is not staying on the portal for very long. Which, you know, like I said, I've got an infinity bow. I'm fine with that, but still. Stay down here so I can hit you. North Portal. North Portal. Arkham Asylum is awesome. Like, a board game of Arkham Asylum? Am I thinking, like... I know Arkham Horror is a board game. Is Arkham Asylum a thing now, or are you just talking about the Batman game? Seriously? I take one hit and the dragon's just off. Saw me sneaking around the wings. Been teaching the kids how to play Battleship. Nice. Does part of that include watching the movie Battleship? Because I heard that was real bad. But might be essential to the modern understanding of Battleship. Also, isn't Liam Neeson like Rihanna's dad in that? How does that work? Uh-oh, gonna die. Gonna die. Get in the air. Eat chicken. Once again, the tagline for KFC Airways. He knows your hit rate is below 50% with the bow, right? Okay, I probably shouldn't fly too close if I'm still trying to heal up, but it's a lot more accurate that way. It's my favorite mob in Minecraft. I like Guardians. Guardians are cool. They're also a pain, but they're pretty fun. My favorite mob changes every so often, though. My favorite mob is usually just what's giving me the most XP at the time. I'll be really into Enderman before long. Time to go. Battleship movie just started out weird, but it was decent. Fair enough. It just seemed like a very strange way of doing a Battleship movie, but then I don't know how I would do a Battleship movie other than aliens. Aliens. Favorite mob has always been iron golems. Yeah, I think I always, like, I overlook the golems as mobs because they're not, like, hostile mobs, you know? Watch this from a distance. Swoosh. All the Endermen got mad, and then they were like, nah, not a problem. Still no North Gateway. Man! Is that 15 now? Where are we at? 15 Ender Dragons. Not all in this stream. If you've just joined us, don't worry. I haven't killed all the Ender Dragons in this stream. But that's like 7 in the stream now. More of them have been in this stream than there were before. The dragon's death sounds like clapping. But yeah, it does sound pretty epic. The other fun thing about the dragon is that if you're on a multiplayer server, you can hear that sound anywhere on the server when somebody kills the dragon in the end. It's pretty neat. Hey, what's up, Jay? Didn't realize I streamed. Now you know. And your life has changed forever. Bet the 20th dragon will spawn the North Pole. I mean, probably at this rate, yeah. Like, we're running out of places it can spawn, so... IDK. So we got 1 space there, and I think like 1, 2, and 3. And there's probably another one on this side as well. Is it there? Nope, that one's there. I think there might be 4, actually, over this way. Man, I'm getting... It's getting to the point where I'm having to explain every time I mention it why I need the North Gateway. I feel bad. I don't want to call anybody out. But, yeah. I'm trying to spawn all the gateways eventually anyway, but the north one is important to me because we've got a thing in place over there that's going to manipulate where the gateway on the other end is going to spawn. It's going to be able to spawn out in the void. And, yeah, it's going to be for an Enderman farm. Wear a pumpkin so you don't have to care about Enderman. Yeah, but then I have the giant pumpkin HUD thing, and I don't want to just, like... go to Vanilla Tweaks and download a texture pack that removes it right now because I've got other things to do. I got dragons to kill. Let's just take 4 end crystals though, shall we? It's a meme now. It is a meme now. It's the unfortunate thing about saying anything like that on the internet is like, why do people keep talking about this? Is that everyone is going to keep talking about that. Can you build where the empty spots are on the east, west, and south? I mean, the east, west, and south are already taken, and I don't know which of those gateways I've actually been through yet, so there is a chance that I might be able to spawn the gateway out there in a custom position, but right now I know the north is not taken. And you can choose any of these spots, really, but it's easiest doing it in the cardinal directions, because... it involves a little bit of maths, and the maths is easier when you don't have to deal with diagonals. This is Minecraft, after all. What's my favourite direction? I'm a big fan of west. or possibly west. Ender is very useful because of ender pearls for years. Also because of high XP yield. Here we go again. Have I seen Nembon's Enderman Farm? That is exactly why I'm doing what I'm currently doing. Because building Nembon's Enderman Farm out in the void is 100% what I want to be doing. Yeah. Get him. What kind of compass are you using? I thought you said west. Nice. One shots. One more crystal to go. Like west because it leads to the ocean for you. Basically every direction leads to the ocean for me, but I am on an island, so... it's quite a big island, but it is an island. South leads most directly to the ocean for me. I say the ocean, more like, you know, the channel, but still. Somehow that arrow managed to connect. No idea how. Look at the little cluster of Endermen on top of the tower. They're having a meeting. They're like, what do we need to do about this? The dragon's running wild again. Time to call up those old Jones boys. Why do I want to beat a lot of end dragons? Because I'm generating portals. How many times must I explain myself on the stream? I don't know where that voice came from, or where they were supposed to be from. It's like if you've seen the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Andy Samberg tries to do the speech from Braveheart. For too long! So good. We've been put down, made to wear ties. It's weird. Me and my wife watch that all the time, but now she's like away from home. She's in the US for a few weeks. I haven't watched an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a couple of weeks, and it's weird. It's like it's missing from my life right now. Pretty sure my parents wouldn't be into it. Didn't realize you could shoot the crystals in the cage like that. Normally you can't. It's just that these pillars are generating weird in 1.14, so I think it's 1.14 anyway. I can't figure out exactly what else it would be, but if you notice, like, the base of the pillars looks like it's kind of broken. Normally, the dragon respawning is supposed to regenerate those pillars, but it's regenerated them weird in this update. So, I think there's something else going on there. But normally, you can't shoot the cage crystals like that. It's just, right now I can, and I'm taking advantage of it. Oh, there he is. He's back. Oh, and he's dead. Dragon seemed to have half finished him off for me, I guess. Feel like I need an FAQ for each stream. Yeah, in Tango's stream, he usually has a command that's just like whatever the plan is for that stream in particular. I have one that's the plan in general, which is like when people ask me if I'm going to do something, I say the plan is to do everything eventually. But I definitely feel like we should have like a what's our agenda for this stream kind of command, because yeah, I get asked that a lot. I can't tell if people are asking just to troll me now, or if it's like genuinely new people coming in and like, so why are you fighting the dragon so many times? Do I plan to make a bat farm? No. If bats were worth farming because they dropped anything, then maybe I would, but right now I am not really interested in bats. Except when they dive in front of creepers, when I'm supposed to be shooting creepers and I shoot a bat instead. Bats are basically creepers' bodyguards. Okay. In before North Gateway. Nope. It's that one over there. Well, looks like we are going to kill all the Ender Dragons today, folks. Seems like we are. Feels like Skyrim right now. It is a little bit. I can fuss rodar this gateway into existence. So I have enough end crystals for 2 more fights or 1 more fight? 2 more fights. Elytra durability is fine because it's been mended. Yeah, we can definitely do this. It's just like relentless, you know? The Ender Dragon Ender. It's basically what this is. Do I think repeatedly killing the Ender Dragon like this is a good way to get XP? No, not really. It would be if it gave you as much XP as it does the first time, but it doesn't, so... How many times can you spawn a gateway? 20. There are a total of 20. What happens if you spawn the dragon then go to the outer islands? It stays on the central island. This Ender Dragon farm isn't very efficient. We need a northern portal because I've set up something that's going to manipulate where the end crystal is, or the end crystal, the end gateway is going to spawn on the other side, and it's going to mean we can build an Ender out in the middle of the void without having to do too much work. And also it's just interesting showing that you can do that. That you can basically control where an end crystal spawns. I keep saying end crystal because I'm looking at end crystals. An end gateway. Dang it. I was trying to shoot down through there. Just go to ground for these two. Nice. So you can respawn the dragon after you've got all 20 portals, but it just means that you don't get any more gateways spawning around the island after that. So it's best to kill the Ender Dragon multiple times to find different end cities. Yeah, in theory. Like, once you've got Elytra, finding end cities becomes a lot easier, but you could also want to preserve your Elytra if you don't have access to mending quite yet. Wow, okay. Hello. Up high now. Surprised that didn't despawn all the Endermen. So funny watching them all trying to have a go. It's not going to happen. You ever seen the Endermen try to fight the Wither, though? They actually do a decent job. Like, if you spawned a Wither at an Ender, probably be a pretty great Wither Rose farm for a start, but I feel like the Wither might actually go down pretty quickly. Of course, the Ender would just be mauled and broken, so... It's probably not the best example. But when the Wither accidentally, like, got loose in the end that one time, the Endermen were actually doing a lot of damage to it. They were dying, but they just, you know, more of them were spawning. Like, theoretically speaking, a bunch of Endermen could probably take down the Wither. The Wither wouldn't be able to take all of them. But then the Wither just destroys blocks too much. You'd have to have a lot of bedrock around, and that's not really possible. Deathmatch Ender Dragon versus Wither. The problem with that fight is it's always very anticlimactic, because the Ender Dragon isn't programmed to attack anything other than players. Like, the fact that it attacks the Enderman is just a coincidence because of the way it moves. So the Ender Dragon doesn't have any reaction to the Wither, and the Wither is too busy attacking the Enderman to really care about the dragon. Like, I think if you just spawned... If you set it so that mob spawning was set to false, and you couldn't have Endermen spawning around here, and you just released the Wither next to the dragon, and you're, like, in creative mode or something, I feel like the Wither would win, just based on the fact that it's the only thing that attacks with any kind of aggression. The dragon would just be like, oh, I don't care. Also, if the dragon regenerates health and the Wither also regenerates health, then I feel like it could go on for quite a while. The Wither would have to accidentally fireball all of the end crystals. Three Withers versus 3 Ender Dragons. That's the bedrock version. It's like we were riding the dragon there for a minute. Okay, couple more hits. Trying not to look at the Enderman. The Ender folk. Can't predict where the dragon is flying today. Did that guy just walk in front of me and then disappear? I'd rather he did that than walk in front of me and aggro, I guess, but still. Filza has a very efficient yet easy Enderman farm. Oh, I know. I imagine it's probably based on the same mechanics that I plan to use for this one. Wasn't north. I think it was that one, which is like just off north. Ah. That's what, 16? Have I ever talked to Filza? No. 17. 17th Ender Dragon. There's literally 3 more spaces that the gateway can spawn. I bet you north is going to be the last one. There's like probably 2... Get out of the way. There's 1 spot there. That one's north. And there's probably another one further around here somewhere that we just haven't spotted because it's behind a pillar. I think there. Yeah, I think that's a spot there. Maybe. Can't really tell. The proportions here are weird. The dragon grind is real, I know, right? Excuse me, sirs. Nope. Nope. Cannot be bothered dealing with several Endermen right now. Hup. Alright. Well, it might look like we're in the same place. We're actually somewhere different now. The north one will be the last one, personally guarantee that. Alright, bear with me 2 seconds, right? I have a text from my wife, who is in the United States right now. So, I need to make sure she's not like, can we say hi? Yeah, she's going to drive back from New Mexico to California, and so she's going through Arizona, and Arizona is like ludicrously hot right now, so... Bear with me. I'm streaming right now, BTW. Chat says hi. I've said hi from you, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, California's hot also. She's going to pass through Needles, which is apparently going to have a high of 117 on Wednesday. That is hotter than should be humanly possible. I mean, it's not humanly, it's globally, but you know what I mean. You live in Oregon, it's going to get up to 100 today. I think 100 is manageable. I think 117... Yikes. Bitterest B agrees. Why didn't you go to spawn? I'm on PS4, you haven't played in years. Oh, your spawn point resets to where your bed is if you last slept in a bed, which I last slept in that one, despite it being surrounded by fire. That's where you end up when you leave the end. California was over 100 yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it's summer, so you expect that kind of stuff, but still, 117? That is 47 degrees Celsius. Wow. Yeah, if it gets, like, over the recommended human body heat, then that's too hot for me. You know? That's beyond hot, yeah. That is like, there was one year, like I said earlier, I follow tennis. There was one year on the Australian Open, people's water bottles, if you put them out in the sun on court, they would just, like, melt. They were playing in, like, 40-something degree heat, and that's scary to me. That's beyond, like... That's beyond just being notable. That is, like, frightening. Fix the stream. I will. Don't worry about it. We're just chatting right now. There's nothing much happening. You missed the stream? No, we're just taking a quick recess so I can text my wife. 20 bits from Mochaccino. You live in California, it's going to be 110 today, but you're living for Israel today, so you're missing the heat. Well, I imagine it's probably relatively hot in Israel as well, but safe travels. Thank you for the bits. The weather in the UK is not hot, it's wet and windy. I mean, it's sunny today, but it's definitely not hot, and yeah, we had a lot of rain and wind the last few days where I live. I am the guy who does the survival guide, Darth Vader. Vader! Imagine how different Star Wars would have been if he was Darth Vader. You're with the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. Nightbot is back. Nightbot has been resurrected. I like the way I can go to my intermission screen and everyone's like, it's the end of the stream. It's not the end of the stream, don't worry. We're taking a short break. Did I make my skin or found it online? It's based on me. So if I'd found it online, I would be very scared. But like this is what I look like. This is even like an outfit that I own. Skull Daisy with the 3 months of support. Thank you so much for the resub. Apparently today is your 3-month sub anniversary. Thanks for all the great times. Thank you for all the great times and the 3 months of support. Let's see some sub hype in the chat. Batman is Lederlappen in Finland. Really? Interesting. Lederlappen. It doesn't quite have the same, like, gravitas to it. Kill the Batman. So I only have 5 end crystals left, which means we've got one more fight. What do you think the chances are that it's going to be the North Gateway we end up generating? And by the way, the odds are actually 1 in 3. Too bad the stream HUD overlays the dragon health bar. All you need to know is the dragon's taking damage. 0% realistically. Shane, you are correct. My wife is like, oh, of course you're streaming. It's Choppin Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, it is. Not going to be pronouncing any German words if I don't know what they mean. I don't want anybody to clip me saying something rude in another language. I was probably pushing it with Batman, to be honest. That could have been anything. Totally forgotten the dragon had a health bar. Yeah. On Bedrock, sometimes it doesn't, but that's a bug. Oh, it's squirrel. Okay. So what is that? Eichhörnchen, maybe? I don't know. It's been a while since I took German. I did a little bit of German in school, but I think the only things I know how to say are like, I play the trumpet and I work in a shop. Neither of which are true anymore. So I can lie in German. Is this Bedrock Edition? No. No, this is Java. Oh gosh, I can't read that and fly at the same time, Danstar, so I'll probably come back to that one. You don't often get into boss fight. Oh, you play peaceful mode, I see. Right, gotcha. Aim is on point today. I mean, I have done this like nearly 10 times in this stream, so I feel like if my aim isn't good by now, it's probably never going to be good. I've only got a few more chances to make my aim good before. I guess there's still a point to summoning the dragon, but it's probably unlikely I will do it much more than this. Alright, all of the gateways are lighting up, because apparently this is the first time I've been near any of them. Wouldn't it be such an anticlimax if we went through all of this and then the gateway spawning trick just didn't work? Like, I'd prepared everything right and it worked in creative, but it just didn't work in the survival world for some reason. Also, look at the dragon's entourage. All these Endermen running around after it. It's like a Greek chorus. That's so funny. setting fire to all of them as well. Again, the fire thing is something that I must have seen happen before, but I never really thought about that as an aspect of the dragon. A fire aspect, if you like. Sniped ya. Yeah. Get away from the dragon's breath. I have a hard time thinking of that as, like, fire. I always think of it as acid for some reason, but it's, like, it's purple. And I don't think most acids are purple, but it seems like a common video game color for acid. Any chemists in the chat want to tell me if acid is purple? Where's Dr. 83 when you need her? Are there any purple acids? Acid can be purple. I suppose it can be. I just remember playing with, like... I say playing with. Doing lab tests and stuff at school with stuff like hydrochloric acid, where it's all just clear, like watercolored. Any mods in chat you can PM the clip to? Paranor or Talismancer, if they're around. Am I excited for Minecraft 2? You mean Minecraft Dungeons, or are you just joking around? I'm excited for Dungeons. Dungeons looks good. I wonder if Minecraft Earth is sort of Minecraft 2 to some people. But the world is real life. Galaxy brain. There's Talismancer. I must have missed Paranor leaving in all of the Ender Dragon fighting excitement. All of the recent unpleasantness. Okay, let's just drop off this tower. See if we can hit it in the butt. Aim for the butt. Whoa. Okay, apparently that's what happens if you aim for the butt. Oh, and a lot of fall damage. There's a Minecraft movie coming out in the next couple of years. You ever think about how Minecraft 2 would be different? I guess Bedrock Edition is probably Minecraft 2. There it is, I can lie in German. Nice. Okay, time to recover some health. I'm going to stay up here in the sky for a little bit. How about you? Okay, we got one hit in. Should have gone for the head. The head is the bit where the fire comes out of, though. Or the acid. There's one big dragon fart. Yep. This dragon farting around here. Dragon probably farts purple as well. That would be embarrassing. Because then everybody would know. You couldn't ignore a purple fart. It's like the color of pickled beets. Dragon says, pull my wing. Oh, you guys. Whoa! It almost gave us the opportunity to pull its wing there for a second. Heyo. Got close enough to pull a dragon's wing. You can tell which way the dragon's going even if you're looking at the ground, because there's this crowd of Endermen trying to follow it. And then losing aggro. Okay, everyone cross your fingers. Oh, almost got it on the fly past. Yes! Ayo! We did it! Skull Daisy with 100 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. 2 fights away from having all of the gateways. We finally get the one we want. Skull Daisy, yeah, my mum plays. Thank you for the bits. Oh man, Nightbot is like timing people out for spamming now. Let's go. Oh, so good. Right. Now, oh, this is slightly nerve-wracking now because it's not over. We need to make sure that the trick we were doing has paid off. Because this is the gate that is on the 0... Yeah, the 0 coordinate heading north. So what we need to do is go up here, staircase up to this thing, throw the ender pearl through it, and make sure we end up in the middle of the void. Which sounds scarier than it actually is. Time for the hard part. This is actually quite easy in theory. But yeah, I need to make sure that we can actually do this. And like I said, I tried this in creative with a copy of the world, like an exact copy, and it worked. I had to kill more dragons in survival one than I did in the creative one, which is pretty funny. But now, yes! Oh, so good. So we now have an end gateway that spawns in the middle of the void. Nembon MC, ladies and gentlemen, the master. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so now we need to torch these up so that we don't get Endermen spawning on there. And we can build our Ender around this spot. Damn good. Damn good. Ah. The enchanted golden apple of portals. The rarest, except we actually got to craft this instead of having to find it. I guess trying to get the north portal by killing the dragon so many times, yeah, that's quite something. But hey, we have our access to the void now. And that is, yeah, that's at -767. What happened right there? So this is, yeah, something that... Shout out to Nembon. Thank you, Talismancer, for dropping Nembon's channel in the chat. Yes, this is something I'm going to explain more in tomorrow's video on my YouTube channel. But now the idea here is that we have tricked the end gateway into spawning in a place where it thinks it's got to the outer islands, but this is actually about 300 blocks away from where the islands start. And that means we have a massive open space around us, which will spawn loads of Endermen if we create a spawning platform, and is going to mean we get the maximum capacity out of an Enderman farm. And I wanted to do this now because we're going to make an Enderman farm anyway, and I figured it was a really cool trick to show people, and then I didn't want to fight the dragon a whole bunch of times and then have this become really difficult to do, because we would have to do it on one of the diagonal things, or miss the opportunity to do this at all. Because it's something you can do in survival Minecraft, so... naturally, I want to do it in this series at some point. So I felt like we might as well do it for tomorrow's episode, and we've done it. GG, everyone. I'm going to save and quit. And I'm gonna take a backup of my world right now. So we're going to go to intermission again, but I'm not ending the stream right now. We can go back and we can gather some resources and chat, because I've had to focus so much on the dragon fight, I feel like I haven't been able to chat with everybody properly. So bear with me while I make a quick manual backup of my world. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm so happy that worked out. Seriously, that was quite something. That was quite something. So that's zipping in the background. Nintendo announced The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch. The Switcher 3, then. Stream's not over. Yep, just taking a break. Just taking a break. I might actually go and refill my cup of tea in a minute. But, my wife says hi. Man, everyone's spamming the commands. Nightbot is handing out refreshments and crumpets. This world is so big now that backing it up as a zip file actually takes a little while. I have no idea how the Switch can handle that game. True, but I mean, like, Breath of the Wild seems like a game that should be very technically challenging, just in terms of the draw distance in that game. So yeah, that folder that I have my world in is now 1.89 gigabytes. And the backup is about half that size. They use backup software. I just use WinZip. I just zip it. I mean, it's not even WinZip now, is it? It's just like, it's integrated into Windows. You just make a zip folder. Anyway, let's get back to it. Are the fights over? I mean, we could fight 2 more dragons and spawn all the end gateways. But, yeah, I'm fine with it being just 18. We can leave 2 dragon fights for later. One of the other things I intend to do in the long term is create like a hub for all of the end gateway portals so that there's an easy access to all of them instead of like pillaring up like I have been for the last little while. I'm going to leave this completely untouched right now because I want to demonstrate that on a video and I need to record that separately from the stream. So we're going to fly over to the other nearest end gateway, which is just over here. Breath of the Wild was specifically made for the Switch. I guess so, yeah, and The Witcher is more like a port, right? So that's a thing. I don't really know how a lot of game hardware and stuff works, though, so I'm take anything I say about that stuff with a pinch of salt. And hook. Whenever you're ready. Sure. Yeah, go for it. And anytime Ender Pearls do weird stuff, I always wait for a few seconds in case I just die. You never know. Did I build that platform? The one with all the leaves and stuff? Yes. Mochaccini, show up to every stream and give me 20 bits. Today you feel good, so 40 bits total. How many bits have I received in this stream total? I can't really track that on my stats. I won't know that until after the stream, I guess. We don't have like a running total. We just have like top cheerer and stuff. So, I feel like chilling and chopping some wood. I feel like we could probably do more of like a Q&A kind of format now that we've got the dragon fights out of the way. I feel like I can relax a little bit more. Can I not record and stream at the same time? I mean, I could, but I don't feel like I'd be able to give either my full attention. And also, when I record stuff, sometimes I do multiple takes because it's a tutorial series, so a lot of the time I have to explain things succinctly, and I don't think it would be that entertaining for you guys to watch me, like, mess up what I'm saying and, like, have to rethink it. It's also a distraction having the chat around and stuff. I just prefer to keep them separate. It's less messy that way. We're actually chopping on Chopping Tuesday. I mean, I did a fair amount of chopping of the dragon when I could actually hit it with my sword. Need some nice relaxing chopping. I do. What are the plans after I finish Ender Dragon fights forever? I don't know. I mean, you can still respawn the Ender Dragon. It just doesn't generate any more gateways. So one of the things I would probably end up doing is fight the dragon a couple of times to get some of the indestructible end crystals that spawn for the fight. What's my opinion on using command block teleporters on an SMP server? I mean, if you've got a long distance to travel and everyone agrees to it, then no problem with that. I think in an SMP, like, I don't know if anything is really off the table as long as everybody agrees to it. Even stuff like pranks and griefing, you're like, if everyone's kind of okay with it and everyone understands that that's the way things are gonna go, then that's the most important thing. Personally, yeah, I would play with a server that has teleportation, especially something like the Realm of Vaston, for example. Like, that server has... I have, like, no bones. That server has teleportation command blocks set up because every time they start a new season, they start a new area and they travel like hundreds of thousands of blocks away. I mean, not literally hundreds, but like they travel a long distance to start a new area because they have large biomes in that world and stuff. So yeah, I don't have any reservations about that kind of thing. It makes sense for the server, then yeah, no reason to beef with it. And they do set it up like it's part of the lore of the world as well. And they also don't use the Nether for transport because the story of the world is that the Nether is the enemy and is invading. So you sort of don't use the Nether for anything except gathering resources sometimes. Vanilla Gorilla, you gotta go. No worries. Thank you so much for stopping by today's stream. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Yeah, Wells did return to Realm of Aston, which is really cool because Joel Duggan's been building the giant frost tree on there. I haven't watched Wells' tour episode yet, so I don't know if they quite got to that, but it's pretty cool if the stuff that my friends are doing are turning up in like videos by hermits and stuff. It's pretty neat. Do I have a skeleton spawner? I do, yeah. But that balloon up in the sky is my general mob spawner, and I usually get more bones out of that because the rates are better and you don't have to wait around for skeletons quite so much. And I know I have an automatic tree farm that I would usually use for this kind of stuff, but it's chews through way more bone meal than I currently have available to me. I think one of the projects I may tackle in the near future is making a more efficient mob farm than that one. But I don't know where I want to do that. I sort of wanted to wait until I was starting a new, like, big area and do a kind of, like... We're moving on to the slightly more advanced side of technical stuff where we can build more efficient types of all of the farms that we've made in the series so far. Instead of having an observer-based sugarcane farm, we can have a slime block one that travels around and mows down a huge field of sugarcane. But I don't know exactly when we would get around to starting a project like that, so I might have to build one in the meantime anyway. I love the fact that when trees generate, you just duck under them automatically now. That's so useful. Like, it's actually kind of useful to me. And yeah, the new iron farm mechanics look like they're kind of interesting and scalable and stuff. I hope the technical community is kind of happy with the state those are, because I think I would be. Anyone else think the Wandering Traders ain't that good? No, they suck. They're terrible. But, you know, as the average survival gamer who travels around the world and explores stuff anyway, that's, you know, taking me out of the demographic that might actually use Wandering Traders. But Wandering Traders, when they turn up, can sometimes show you resources that you don't have access to. And if you're in a skyblock world, a Wandering Trader is your conduit to having all of the saplings and like a ton of other stuff can potentially show up that you wouldn't be able to get in a skyblock world otherwise. So they've more or less single-handedly revolutionized skyblock Let's Plays. But, you know, for the survival world, especially one that's heavily explored, you just don't need them. Am I ever going to continue Harmony with Python? We would like to at some point, but we don't really know. We'd like to do like a Harmony 2 and revamp the pack and do some different stuff, but both of us are having so much fun with our vanilla single-player series right now that we don't really have any other projects in mind. I still want to hang out with Python more, but yeah, I don't know if Harmony 2 is going to be anytime soon, if at all. Have I ever used mods in survival? I mean, I'm using Optifine now. Technically, that counts. But also, yes, I've done some some mod pack stuff. I played some Sky Factory. I've done bits and pieces of modded content on my channel before. Played Sky Factory on streams for a while. I don't really get on with modded, though. Me and modded don't always see eye to eye. I find it funny that everyone is killing wandering traders for their leads, because I've never thought of a lead as something that's particularly difficult to get. But I guess if you can farm them from there and you don't have to spend the slime on it, then sure, if you don't have a slime farm already, it makes sense. Do I know Mr. Crayfish? I know of him. I've heard of him. Didn't he make a mod that lets you dab in Minecraft? Bet that guy makes so much money. Getting all the big trees right now. But yeah, Mr. Crayfish I know best from the furniture mod. What can a silverfish farm provide you? XP and catharsis, I guess. A sense of grim self-satisfaction at being able to farm one of the more useless mobs in the game. And a lot of horrible sound effects. I feel like that's the thing that unsettles me most about silverfish, is just the sound, the like little insect sound they make. PS Stream, you just got a mending villager, congrats. Now make sure you trade with him a bunch of times so he doesn't end up losing that profession. Because if you have like a novice mending villager, then you want to make sure they don't accidentally lose track of their workstation and become unemployed again. You're new to Minecraft and was wondering if there's a difference between the Java and Windows 10 versions. I mean, on the surface, not really. If you just want to casually play Minecraft, you will probably have a good time with either. But if you want to get beyond the surface level and go into stuff that's a little bit more technical and do what I do in this series a little bit more, like farming resources and stuff like that, there are some discrepancies, some differences that you need to be aware of. But you will probably have a good time in either game if you are new to Minecraft, so I wouldn't worry too much about it until you're ready to take the game to the next level. If you're going into it specifically because you've seen people do amazing stuff in Minecraft and you're trying to emulate that, then I would look into what version of the game those people had and go for that. But personally, if you're on a PC, I would go with Java Edition over Windows 10. I feel like the version of Minecraft that Windows 10 is, which is also the one that's on consoles, is probably better suited to consoles or tablets and players who are interested more in having like a couch gameplay experience or a like an on-the-go gameplay experience with like the Switch version, a more portable one. What is my favorite food in real life? It's kind of boring to say pizza, but I feel like pizza is so good that I'll take boring if it means that I get to eat pizza. When's the stream going to end? We're probably going to stick around for another, I don't know, hour or two, maybe? We started at like 3 PM my time. It's coming up to 6. I don't really have to do anything until like 8, maybe? So you should go get a stream pizza is what you're saying. I mean, yeah. That is what I'm saying. I am sponsored by insert pizza establishment here. Which would totally be the name of a pizza restaurant I would open. How do you stop villagers from switching workstations with villagers who use the same type of workstation? It's kind of buggy right now. So I don't know if you can really stop it from happening, aside from separating them so that they are more likely to pathfind to their own workstation. Seriously, we're getting so many large trees. It's great. Be better if I actually needed to get leaves. But at least I'm topping up on saplings, I guess. Hey, Mr. Badger Seth, welcome along. Good to see you. I do all my recording and streaming earlier, then get on with my day later. I mean, recording and streaming is my day most of the time. But I do bits and pieces around recording and streaming. Like, I stream in the middle of the afternoon, so if I am streaming that day, it is typically, like, the roundabout around which my day revolves. I want to thank you for showing my 5-year-old son how to make TNT and blowing up my farm and house. Oh gosh, I hope you had backups. Gareth84 with 50 bits, going around handing out biddies to the favourite streamers. Thank you. Glad to hear I'm one of your favourites. And give my best regards to the other favourites. Is YouTube and Twitch my full-time job? I do make content full-time, but it's not the only job I have, which is usually what people mean when they ask if it's my full-time job. Like, I probably put enough hours into both YouTube and streaming to make them collectively a full-time job, but I also have a part-time job where I work for a software company. Do I have a gold farm? I do have a gold farm. Not a giant Roof of the Nether donut one yet, but that will happen later. Hey, Cardoodles, welcome along. Doesn't feel right making a pumpkin pie or a cake on a crafting table rather than in an oven. Yeah, baking should be more of a thing in Minecraft, shouldn't it? Like, it's really weird that you can make bread out of just wheat instead of putting it in a furnace. Can you make a backup on Realms? I don't know. I've not had much experience with Realms, but I think so. I hope so. I'm pretty sure you can at least download your world from the Realms server, in which case you just make a local backup of it, instead of having a backup stored on the server. But I expect Realms does have a backup system, otherwise how would they protect from, like, griefing? Am I currently studying in university or something? Nope. I finished university about 10 years ago. But yeah, basically I have like 5 jobs now, which is the part-time stuff I do for the software company, YouTube, streaming, the podcast, and Hermitcraft Recap. Collectively, those things all make up my income. Believe you can have a backup from Realms. Cool. Confirmed by the chat. But yeah, don't take my word for it. Flour should be a thing. I feel like it just add an extra step. I think wheat is typically something you get in the early game. And so I can see why it's easy enough to just to like craft wheat into bread. And it's something that was such an early mechanic before Minecraft gained any sort of complexity that it makes sense that that would be available to players early and that it's just as simple as they can make it. Thought I was like 20-something? I'm 32. I have a youthful face that is masked behind a giant beard. I say giant beard, like... I always think of myself as having, like, a decent size beard, and I think my beard is getting a little bit long when it's, like, maybe a couple of weeks further grown out than this, and then I see some folks who've just got, like, the big Viking burly beard, and I'm like, Turns out I don't have much in the way of beard game. Is the GTX 1080 the same as the 1080 Ti? No, they're different. I don't know how they're different, but they're different. The Ti has 2 more letters. You love the stream and the videos? Thank you. Flour could also be used for smoke bombs. I like the idea of smoke bombs in this game. Just create a cloud of particles and then you see a player running out from behind it. Ninja vanish. Oh, that one was just ready to go. New Animal Crossing for the Switch. Well, bye-bye everyone's life. Hello everyone's new Stardew Valley surrogate. I guess Stardew Valley was probably an Animal Crossing surrogate for a while. But yeah, we figured it was coming. It's been a while since... was it Pocket Camp was the mobile one? How do I have 2 eggs? It has a desert island. I know nothing about Animal Crossing. I've never played one, so... I am not surprised, but I'm also surprised. I don't know how to react. I make a video about my Minecraft settings. You're new to Java and you don't know anything about them. In terms of Minecraft settings, I'm trying to think. I went through Optifine on a video for Survival Guide, and that's probably the closest I can have to going through Minecraft settings. What do you need to know? In terms of, like, what I have my graphics settings set to and stuff. Like, it's just... I have everything turned up because I have quite a decent PC. But I don't know really how I could explain much more than that that would be helpful to people who don't have my exact PC. This is the best music disc, you're right. Although Cat's pretty good too. I feel like Cat gets overlooked just because you find it in every other dungeon chest. Ecstatic about Animal Crossing. Good. Glad that's worked out for all of the folks who were waiting for an Animal Crossing for a while. I feel the same about that I felt about Final Fantasy VIII, really. It's like, there are a ton of people who are going to be really, really excited by this, and I'm like, good, I guess. I'm probably not going to play it, because I spend all of my time basically playing Minecraft, and occasionally Tetris 99, but I'm glad to hear that Animal Crossing fans are going to be hyped for that. Who knows, maybe it's the game that would get me into the series, and, you know, if it seems like people would enjoy me streaming it, maybe I'll get an Elgato for my Switch and stream it, but I don't own one right now, and it's an extra expense, so I'm kind of willing to let that go if people are just happy to watch me play this. Who uses compasses if you have coordinates? I mean, compasses are useful as a crafting ingredient for maps, and you can trade them with villagers and stuff, so you don't have to use a compass, you can still make it. Also, some people don't play with coordinates. Some people specifically have coordinates disabled. And there is a command that allows you to do that. I think if you... Is it reduced? Yeah, there's a game rule. Let me remove my webcam for a second here. Boosh, there we go. If you go to... If you type game rule reduce debug info true, that removes the coordinates from your F3 screen, so even if you hit F3, you don't see where you are. And some people do it as a challenge, but I don't see the value of that when you can do much more interesting stuff, like, you know, linking nether portals and things like that accurately. It's much easier with access to coordinates, so I don't see the point in disabling coordinates, unless you're trying to stop players from finding stuff. In which case a compass would be worth having. And it's good to have in other versions of Minecraft where you might not have access to coordinates. Rendog and Python both did that in their SSP series. It's good for immersion. It's fun to challenge yourself that way and do that. But I'm trying to show people the default experience of Minecraft. And for the most part, a lot of people play with coordinates because they're helpful in other ways. I've run out of bones, which is why I'm not growing any more trees. I don't know if I have any somewhere else that I should be aware of. Am I married? Oh yeah, no, I'm very much married. I've been married for nearly 8 years. My 8th anniversary is coming up in September. PS4 doesn't have an F3 screen. No, exactly. I think you can still enable coordinates in most of the console versions of... Sun going down yet? In most of the console versions of Minecraft. It used to disable achievements, but I don't think it does anymore. Yeah, I guess Skeleton Grinder. We can go there and we can punch some skeletons for a bit. Oh, do you still need a map on PS4? I thought it was like Bedrock Edition now. I thought it was basically the same as Bedrock Edition, where on Xbox you can just enable coordinates from the options menu. Oh, PS4 doesn't have Infinite Worlds yet? Really? Ooh. Yeah, I can see why they're kind of annoyed that they weren't part of the whole Bedrock Better Together crossplay thing. I know PS4 gets content updates a little bit later, but I didn't think they were also behind in terms of, like, gameplay mechanics like that, or like, metagame stuff. Feels bad, man. Should you make an underground oasis base for your survival world? I mean, yeah, go for it. Oasis all you want. Can I update you on the Nether Hub? It exists. Really ain't much to see. Like, I plan on doing some stuff with it eventually, but like I said, I'm working on the end right now. And eventually this will become a big compass rose, and we'll have biomes around the outside. That's probably going to be a stream project, but that's also going to be mostly a stream project for the days where I don't know what else I want to do, and today I had a very specific plan to accomplish, and now we're going to chop, so... Sony is in the pocket of Epic Games now. Well, we appear to have stumbled on a Zombie Pigman family outing. It's like they're here for a picnic. Go forth and play. Yeah, this is what happens when you spend all of your time building unspawnable space, is they spawn in corridors that lead to nether portals, and then they just all end up in the overworld. Legends. Alright. Skeletons on. Alright. And we have some bones in here, but not much else. Good. I'm going to AFK here for a bit. I think I should be safe. And I need to go and take a bathroom break and refill my cup of tea. And also my glass of water, because I've got to stay hydrated. Folks, we are not ending the stream yet. I will be back. Bear with me. And talk amongst yourselves. Grab some snacks if you need to. Refill your cups of tea as well. And I'll be back in a few minutes' time. Hello. I'm back. Have the skeletons been dying okay? Good. Good, good, good. This has been Funtime Chair Facts, brought to you by an excess of tea. Believe it or not, this is tea as well. It's the future. 28 bones, not bad. Let's have a few more. And a lot of XP. One million Earths could fit inside the sun. Those are some cool facts right there. Space is weird, man. Space is a very strange thing. Or lack of things. I don't know, how do you... Physics. Confusing me. You got mending back. Nice, good work. YouTube channel has grown over the past 3 years. It's grown a lot over the last 6 months. I think a lot of the growth I've seen has just been since I started doing Minecraft Survival Guide full-time. I think when I started that, I probably had about 42,000 subs. So I've had 100,000 since November, basically. But that's how it happens. You can have, like, slow and steady growth over time, and it comes and goes. But there are moments that'll just make it shoot up. And lately I have been having that moment. You may think it's a long way down the road to the chemists. I haven't listened to any of the Hitchhiker's Guide, like, radio show or anything for a while. Villager trades reset on PS4 even without their workstation being removed. I mean, on Java it happens probably not the same way. It's probably not the same thing that's causing it, but they do that flickering thing where they forget where their workstation is or they can't pathfind to it. I look a lot like my profile picture. Of course I do. It's based on me. Don't know what the confusion is. Like, all of my channel art and stuff is, and my Minecraft skin is based on how I look. Now, I caught the Red Dwarf quote, Talisman, so that's why I read it. I didn't immediately go, that was a Red Dwarf quote, but I understood that was what it was. I also can't say Red Dwarf quote. There's just, like, too many weird ways to trip your trip your mouth up. It's alright, Talisman, sir. Wasn't Doc M the one who shouted me out? Oh, no. OMG Chad. It's probably the original shouter-outer. I think I got 1 or 2 from log.zip at various points as well. we had the white hole discussion on the last stream, I think. So that thing's spewing time back into the universe. See you later, Benny boy. Have a good one. Don't understand the thing with tea. Coffee is so much better. Coffee gives me anxiety, and tea doesn't. I can only drink coffee when I know I haven't got, like, a ton of stuff to do that day. I drink coffee as, like, a social thing if I'm in a relaxed environment, but if I've got work and stuff to do, I don't get energy from coffee. I get heart palpitations. Mr. Badgerseth with the 2 months of support. Thank you so much. Jeshny with the resub hype. Am I using a skeleton spawner for this? Yes. So there's a skeleton spawner up there, behind where that redstone lamp is. And that's bringing all of the skeletons down here. The other two of these... Well, there's one there and there's one behind this wall that you can't see. Those are cave spiders. So I'm not using those right now because cave spiders. But the skeleton spawner is up there. I just need bones. You instantly crash with caffeine? Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Can I recommend a guide for a similar spawner design like the skeletons? I mean, I made a video about making this at the time that might be helpful to you. I don't know if I can recommend specifically like a person who's got a good spawner farm design tutorial, because I feel like they're common enough that most people do them. So I can't point you to somebody specific who's like, that's the guy. But, yeah, they might be out there. The soul sand under the skeletons, because when the slab gets removed, the soul sand is not a full block, and that allows a hopper underneath there to extract all of the items that end up on top of that block, and they go into the chest. What I really should do is swap that out for a hopper, so that when this slab comes out, the skeletons end up standing on there, and the items just drain away from that position instead of having to step away and do that. But yeah. It's basically the same thing. It is pretty clever. I can't take any credit for this mob softening, mob killing mechanism. That's a design by a guy called Derp Crafter, who I don't think is very active anymore, but made some really interesting redstone contraptions back in the day. I had to adapt it slightly for 1.13 because mobs didn't stay in the lava so long, so they have a slab underneath their feet now that comes out like so, where it just used to be a slab over their head, and they used to kind of get stuck in the lava, but having the slab there kills them quickly. So I guess I modified it, but Derpcrafter's original design is what inspired the whole thing. Death count right now is 9 deaths. Mask Stitches. It's, yeah. It was 6 before I did the episode where I actually successfully completed a raid, because the villagers didn't die once. I died 3 times. Why does the slab come out? Because it's being pushed by a sticky piston. If you mean why do we need the slab to come out, in this case, it comes out at their feet level and at their head level. There's also a block up there that prevents other mobs from falling into the lava. That one just had poor timing. But that slab is there so that when you attack the mobs, they still drop all of their stuff and the lava doesn't destroy it. And this slab is here so that when you punch them, or hit them with a sword in this case, they all go up into the lava and then they come down to rest on top of the slab, and the lava damage kills them quickly enough that it still counts as your kill, and that's how come you still get experience. Have I made God Armor? Yes, did that in an episode. And now it's not going to be accessible to anyone in 1.14.3. It's probably a good thing I made it when I did. How would I like to be on Hermitcraft 7? I don't care. Six weeks to go. You're leaving your current school at the end of the term, so that's exciting. I hope you're moving on to bigger and better things. Or smaller and less good things, if that's what you want. But I assume less good is not necessarily something anybody wants. Can't use a sign for the top slab. It doesn't work as well, because I think items will still go up into that space, just because the items kind of explode everywhere, and having something sort of solid prevents that from happening. And maybe you could use a sign for the top slab. I don't know if it's really any... It's not much easier to change it. This is single player and vanilla. The Twitch tags should say unmodded and single player, but maybe you just don't... You can't see the tags if you're on mobile or something. I don't know. But yes, this is my single player world, the Minecraft survival guide, where I make my tutorials for my YouTube series. Welcome along. If it's your first time here, great to have you on board. Right now we're just grinding for bones because I'm doing a bit of tree farming and I need bone meal. Closest school to home, and it's next door to your kid's primary. Oh, cool. Nice. Always good to have less commute time and more convenience. Videos have been super helpful to you. Thank you for what you do. Hey, no problem. Glad you're enjoying them. Am I going to make a world download? At some point in future, I probably will, but I haven't set like a specific time when I'm going to, because I think of this as like an ongoing creative project as well, and I don't want to give my creative projects to people until I think they're sort of done. So I've decided I'll probably release a world download once I'm done, like, building the town that I'm building. And doing a couple of other projects as well, but I don't know when that's going to be. I don't have, like, a timeline for it, so don't expect a world download anytime soon. That is a lot of bones, but it's also not enough bones at the same time. Found the channel today and found the Twitch after digging. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we stream 3 days a week on this channel. It's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So drop a follow and you'll get notified when I go live. But, yeah, you can usually find me. Same bat time, same bat channel. When did we start today? Did we start at 3? We did start at 3, didn't we? Sometimes I start like an hour early, depending on what time I've got available that day. What's more important to do in survival, building a big and proper house, or just go cave mining for a long while? Either. Like, there is really nothing that's more important than one thing or the other. I think having shelter is good, but if you're capable and you know what you're doing in terms of combat, then going caving can be great too. Do both. Do a little bit of both. Build yourself a half-decent house and go caving for just a short while, and you'll probably be pretty well set up at that point. Can you lava log slabs? No, it doesn't work like water. The farm has 3 spawners. There's one in there that's a cave spider. There's one further up there that is a skeleton spawner. And there's another cave spider spawner over there. I'm not using the cave spiders right now because I don't need XP. I just need bones. How much time do I spend watching the Hermitcraft videos for the Hermitcraft recap? It varies depending on how many videos the Hermits have put out at the time. I only watch half of the whitelist. And I guess probably only 2/3 of those guys are still making videos actively every week. And sometimes people go on holiday and stuff. But right now, on average, I'd say there's about 10 videos to watch every week. So it probably takes me like 2 or 3 hours to go through each of those. Not like per video, but like in total. But remember, I've got to take notes on it and stuff like that. So it's about more than just watching them. It's also about like making sure I understand what's going on and taking timestamps for clips that we need to put into the recap itself. The episode for the Skeleton Grinder is, yeah, it's quite early. I think it's somewhere in like the 30 to 40 range. I'm pretty sure I made this before I made the General Mob Farm. Because I wouldn't have probably invested so much time into this if I already had some way to get bones and string. Optifine is currently in pre-release. It's pre-release 8 for 1.14.2. Is that an ice cream van? You guys probably can't hear that at all, but there's an ice cream van somewhere. Playing Teddy Bear's Picnic. Why isn't Python playing Hermitcraft anymore? I don't know. I think he's probably more interested in how his single-player world is doing. But I don't know for certain what his reasons are. It's easy to get burned out if you're working on a multiplayer world and a single-player world, though. So, ultimately, you have to pick one. And I can think of several reasons why somebody wouldn't want to pick Hermitcraft. Also, I realise Beethoven's been playing for the last 30 seconds, so sorry about that. Excuse me one second. Ah, my nose is real itchy. Haven't really had flooding kind of levels of rain, Mr. Badger Seth. We got a few showers yesterday, but nothing terrible. Is that maybe why Etho left after Season 5? I mean, yeah, that's probably it. Etho seems to be generally burned out on Minecraft overall. Like, you don't see him playing all that much vanilla anymore. He comes back for an episode here and there, but it's not like he makes it all the time. Do I have an ender chest in here already? Apparently not. I also have 2 random blocks of various materials in there. Still so weird to me that stuff just stays on fire for a second or two before it actually burns away. Fan from the Philippines currently watching me every day, even if it's a very late night. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you do get some sleep, though. I don't know if it's hay fever or not. I just have, like, a weird stuffy nose. Just, like, for life. Doesn't even happen at a specific time of year. It's just constant. Should take this stuff back to the blast furnace and smelt it down. You can sleep and watch streams. I guess you can. You can lurk. Am I watching the Cricket World Cup now? Don't have much interest in cricket. Wimbledon this year? Maybe. Maybe. My wife is getting back from California like the week before Wimbledon starts, so it's going to be quite a quick turnaround for us. What do I need bones for? Bone meal for growing trees. I don't watch Premier League football, no. I will occasionally watch international football, but like league stuff is not my thing. Do I like llamas? Yeah. I don't dislike llamas. I don't I don't stand llamas. They're not like my favorite thing, but they're cool. Me and llamas hang out. Gonna build the mob farm soon. Nice. Hope it goes well. Good luck. Only interest you have in crickets is when you're trying to sleep and the chirping is too loud. Well, that happens with cricket matches too. I used to, maybe not when you're trying to sleep, depends if you work nights or not, but I used to live basically right next door to Headingley Stadium in Leeds. I used to live on the road where that stadium is, and it was like a rugby stadium and a cricket stadium there, so it was either like, yeah, rugby crowds or cricket crowds. And the rugby crowds were normally just like, they turn up for a match and it happens and then it's over, but then cricket is one of those things that plays out over several days, so you would often have several days of people being there all day. Did I eventually open the gate? Yes, I did. I got the end gate to work, and it's actually the trick for spawning it in the middle of the void has worked very well, and I'm very happy about this. Backyard foxes have not been around for the last couple of days. I've heard them overnight. I think I heard them like making some noise last night, but they haven't really been out in the garden for a while, and the main reason for that is that I just my parents came the other day to help me take down the shed, and we had a garden shed sort of at the bottom of our garden that was put there by the old owners, and or maybe even the people who owned this house before the people we bought it from, and that shed was very old, and we didn't really want to use it for anything. There was like some broken mirrors and stuff in there, like just some stuff we wanted to get rid of. And the only thing we were using it to store was like the lawnmower, which could be stored in a much smaller space. So we took down the shed last weekend, like on Saturday. And since then the foxes have not been back, I think because they realized that a lot of stuff was happening in the garden and they wouldn't be able to like get some sleep. So most of what they do is they come to this garden to nap. So yeah, they were keeping their distance, I think, and they will probably be back now that things have calmed down out there. But they don't like people very much, so they're kind of naturally rather skittish, for good reason. Yeah, Mr. Badgerseth, the first half of this stream was me basically fighting the Ender Dragon 10 times to try and get a specific end gate to spawn. So we did that. that happened. And now that has happened, I'm going to make a YouTube episode about it, so I won't be doing any more of that on this stream. What difficulty do I play on? Hard. This world should... Yeah, it's locked on hard. There was a bug for a while where it was unlocking itself, and I don't know how, because there isn't really a way to do that, other than adjust, like, the text file that has all of your configs and stuff in it, but even then I don't know where you would find that. But it was unlocking itself, but that seems to have been fixed. You tend to miss the beginning of streams due to work. That's fine. That's fine. Just felt like you may as well get caught up. It's possible to spawn the dragon more than once. Yeah, you can spawn it as many times as you like. But the gateways that generate, that take you to the islands further out in the end, you can have a maximum of 20 of those. And now I have 18. Because I was trying to get one specific one to spawn, so we had to fight the dragon, like, a ton of times. And yes, there are foxes in Minecraft now. They are very cute. And very much like real-world foxes. As someone who has seen foxes quite frequently lately, the foxes in Minecraft do very much behave like those foxes. Does the how to breed villagers tutorial still work? No, not really. Villagers need beds to breed now instead of doors. So it is a lot easier to get them to breed in a large open area which just has a ton of beds in it. And you always need more beds than you have villagers if you want them to breed. But there are villager breeder designs that are out there that work, and if you want to look up some of those, I'm pretty sure Frilioth and Nembon and Ilmango and folks like that will have their own variations on those villager breeders now. Does the end gate thing take you to different islands every time, or do they spawn you at the same? It's a giant ring around the outside of the end, like the central island where the dragon fight happens. And so each of the gateways takes you out in that direction. So, like, if you go through a gateway that leads north, you go north 1,000 blocks, and then that's where the exit portal is. Likewise, if you go east, then it takes you out to the east, and the dimension just kind of, like, expands in every direction. So, yeah, you end up going to basically a different location for each one, but they're all in a massive ring, so if you went around it clockwise or anti-clockwise, you would find the other gateways in the ring. Is Ilmango a farmer? He does so many farms. Ilmango is a technical player. He does a lot of really interesting stuff with the technical side of the game. Him and the other folks on SciCraft do really interesting stuff. What music do I like? I like all kinds of stuff. I don't really have a specific genre that I stick to. I'm not like entirely death metal or something. Like I mellow out lately. I used to like punk and metal and that kind of scene a lot, and I still have an affection for it, but it's not necessarily something I keep up with anymore. Ilmango is PR manager for SciCraft. Yeah, I get the impression that folks like him and Doc are kind of like they're the face of it. They're kind of like the people who present all of the ideas, and then obviously they have a lot of input as well, but there are a lot of folks behind the scenes who do a ton of the heavy lifting. But then Doc and Ilmango have like the reach right now because they both got a substantial amount of subscribers. So they're the ones who do the like, hey, we've discovered this. What's my opinion of turning fire tick off? I've done it in this world because I like the creativity of being able to place fire anywhere. And I'm fine with people turning it off if they feel like they need to. It's less of a huge decision for me than it might seem. I guess now it's a little bit easier to deal with the creative ways you can use fire because campfires are in the game. But it's also nice to not have your house burned down because of a lightning strike, so I'm kind of cool with fire tick staying off. Alright, I think I'm probably done gathering bones for now. I think we can go back to chopping some wood. Probably going to stick around for another half hour, I think. What about mob griefing? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. That was gross. Mob griefing is a different story because mob griefing actually has a lot of cool mechanics associated with it, like villagers being able to automatically farm crops. Like, if you turn mob griefing off, villagers can't even touch farmland. I mean, they can walk on it, and they can probably, like... I don't know if they jump on it if it still reverts the farmland back to dirt, but they won't farm crops. And that's a very useful mechanic to have. I'd be cool with creepers not blowing stuff up and endermen not moving blocks, but it takes away too many things which are actually fun mechanics that you can have. And to be honest, I'm careful enough with creepers, and the endermen are seldom enough that I don't really mind mob griefing staying on or off. Is it actually possible to have lightning burn down your house? Yes. If lightning strikes anything that is... Like, lightning actually affects a radius around where the lightning bolt hits. And if it places a fire in an area which is not open to the rain, like, naturally it will rain and will... The rainwater will kind of put out fires if they're out in the open. But if there's, like, an overhang or something that a lightning strike starts a fire, it can spread to wool or wood, and then your entire house, if it's made of wool or wood, just burns down. A fire also can spread instantly. It's rare that it happens. If it can get, like... If the lightning strike happens, it sets a fire, the fire is immediately extinguished by the rain. The fire has still had enough time to spread to another block. So, yeah, it happens. You've installed a command block that skips night because you always sleep the night away anyway. That's fair. I think sometimes night is just beneficial to have for, you know, mob spawns and stuff. But if you've got the world set up a certain way, and if you play on peaceful and you don't really care to do stuff at night, then that's fair too. It's also nice to be able to set your spawn somewhere, and you can only do that when it's night. But if you're always building around the same area, that makes sense. Is the nether hub done? It's cleared out. It's not actually built or anything. I plan on building a bunch of stuff in that area, which I have not got around to yet. Can put cactus in composters if I've got some lying around. I have a system that does that automatically for me. Like if I have a ton of cacti in here, for instance, I can just fill this up. And as soon as the composter is half full, it starts taking the cacti out of here and transferring it to that building over there where it gets turned into bone meal. So I have a ton of that. How long am I streaming for? Probably another half hour, and then we'll find somebody to raid. So the cactus should be coming into one of these. That one. There we go. Yeah, so that's filling up with compost now. How did I make the skeleton farm? There's an episode about it in my YouTube channel. Basically, you just control the light level inside of like a box that you build around the mob spawner using redstone lamps that you can turn on or off. And then you cover the floor in water streams leading down to another water stream that takes them into the killing mechanism. And you have to do a couple of tricks with the water to get it to work properly, but it's usually pretty easy once you know how. And mob farms for a while were one of my favorite things to set up, just because it felt like a cool technical project, but it was also quite straightforward to do. Hey, Josh dude. Welcome along. Glad you could make it. Some people doing Obi-Wan Kenobi impressions in the chat now. What am I doing? Right now I'm trying to find a place to plant some trees. Which will probably be here next to my automatic tree farm. The irony. Always with the crouching. Can I join the server or realm? This is a single-player world, so no. But feel free to hang out in the chat and get to know us. Next stream will be on Thursday, probably around the same time as today. Inspired you to have some tea! Mint tea! Enjoy your mint tea, Luke. I have the best community. Thanks, I think they're pretty good. Not sure how much of it I can take credit for, really, but the community makes itself good. I have a community. I do. Though half of them are community coffees, I suppose. Apparently. How do you link up all the nether portals so they don't all go to one place? There are tricks you can do with the exact coordinates. But basically it helps if you know the coordinates. If you're playing on another edition of the game like Bedrock Edition, and you don't have access to the coordinates for whatever reason, then it can be quite difficult to do. But basically you have to make sure that the coordinates of the portal in the nether are the coordinates of the portal in the overworld divided by 8. And then that will allow you to link a portal more exactly to the portal in the overworld. Ignore the height value, of course, because the height value is the same in both dimensions. Started loving Minecraft again because of me. Oh, thanks. Always really cool to hear that people are getting back into the game because of checking out my videos and finding out there's more to Minecraft than they thought there was. Or just that, you know, the vibe of the videos, for whatever reason, is something they dig. Any tips for a starting streamer? Just be consistent. Set yourself a schedule that you can stream regularly. Don't expect to make money or get viewers straight away. Just do it for the love of sharing your content with everybody. Try and invest in some good quality audio equipment, if only because audio is more important than video. Which seems weird at first, but it kind of makes sense, really, if you consider that a lot of people watch streams in the background, so the video quality, while it is good to have it, is not as important as people being able to hear you clearly and the stream sounding listenable. Like 90% of the time I have a stream on in the background and I'm not actively looking at the screen because I just want some background noise while I cook or while I'm doing other things that only require half of my concentration. Am I a Star Wars fan? I like Star Wars. I feel weird about calling myself a fan of anything now because I feel like fandom culture on the internet can often get a little bit weird. So bizarre though it is, I try not to self-identify as a fan because fans occasionally cause chaos. But no, I like the movies. When will I make an Enderman Farm episode? Thursday or Friday this week. How much do I play per day? Totally depends on the day. On average, I would say probably about 4 hours. Believe it or not, a lot of the job of the YouTube content creator is editing and stuff as well. So I will typically spend a few hours playing Minecraft and an hour or two editing as well. It's all part of the job. Used to have a friend who hung out in a Star Trek chat room. They said they weren't a fan and they just liked the show. Yeah, I mean, there's levels of fans that's like, I would go to a convention and I'm there at midnight launches and I've cosplayed as stuff. And then there's folks like me who are just like, I really like the films. I don't own any of the toys. I have a couple of the movies on DVD, but not all of them. Actually, do I have all of them? I don't have Solo. But I haven't watched any of the expanded universe stuff. I haven't read any of the books. You know, there's levels of fandom that I do not reach. Is editing hard? Not once you're used to it. It can be a little bit weird at first. And obviously the trick is to make the editing experience as streamlined as possible, but also to learn to edit well. Like, editing itself is not that difficult. Editing well is hard. And even calling it hard is a bit of a... like, it's a bit misleading. Like, it's not difficult. It's just you have to put a lot of work into practice. You know, it's one of those things that just gets better with practice. Never been a fan of merchandising, no matter what franchise you're a fan of. Well, you're not going to enjoy the fact that I want to produce t-shirts then. Not a kid. What do I use to edit? I have Adobe Premiere Pro. I make my thumbnails in Photoshop, but I didn't use Photoshop for a while. I just used to have Premiere Pro, and then I upgraded to the full Adobe suite recently because I wanted to try out some stuff with After Effects and Illustrator and a few other programs in the suite. T-shirts, why not jumpers? Because if I was modeling the jumper after the jumper, the problem with that is technically it's already somebody else's jumper. Like, I kind of modeled it after an item of clothing that I already own, and me just producing that item of clothing again would be weird and probably illegal. But also, I think more people will buy a t-shirt. Like, t-shirts have international appeal. Nobody in California wants to buy a jumper because it's too warm over there for jumpers. To be real, though, if I get a store with, like, Teespring or something, they'll probably print onto hoodies. Like, I can choose for them to make hoodies using the same design if they want to, you know? Now you know what you're spending tomorrow's birthday money on. Hey, I don't have t-shirts available yet. So, hold your horses and spend that birthday money on something good. The t-shirts, you're always worried about where they're sourced. Yeah, I mean, we do what we can. Can confirm people from California like hoodies. I mean, my wife is from California. She wears a hoodie on occasion, but she also lives in the UK now, so she's used to having a cold weather wardrobe. Any Photoshop tips for cleaning up a logo? I mean, I don't really know all that much about the process of using Photoshop professionally. I just bodge together my thumbnails in it. I'm not really like a trained Photoshop user. I just use it for image editing and layout, and it's not really... I don't do... When people say something is photoshopped, like when something is superimposed into an image, I don't do that kind of Photoshop typically. So, yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask for tips about that kind of stuff. I'm also not very good at describing stuff that happens visually. I don't feel like I have the vocabulary for it, and so often it makes a lot more sense to me if I can see something in front of me and point at it rather than explain verbally how to do anything. So I feel like me explaining how to use Photoshop would go very badly. Dogs or cats? Definitely cats. I like dogs. I have never owned a dog. I have owned 2 cats in the past, and they were a delight. And I kind of miss them, and I really wish we had cats again at some point. But, yeah, I've never owned a dog, and while I get on fine with dogs, I prefer the temperament of cats. Do I know Wattles? I know of him. I have never met him personally or anything. And we haven't collaborated on some stuff, but yeah, I know who he is, if that's the answer you're looking for. What's that redstone contraption with water near the house full of villagers? Oh, this thing over here? that is a sea pickle farm. Basically, you just plant some sea pickles in there, you bone meal them so that they spread, and then when one of them reaches the observer, it updates, the whole farm shifts, all the sea pickles break. It's not really necessary, and it's not a very good farm design if you wanted to just produce a ton of pickles. Like, it doesn't harvest automatically or anything. So I don't really use it all that much. I just wanted to create a bunch of pickles, and I was sort of working out on stream in my head how to farm sea pickles in a sort of semi-automatic way. Is there a video about it? No, we just did it on stream. I just needed some sea pickles for a thing. We were just decorating the swamp, I think. I wanted, like, lighting for the underwater sections in the swamp. So I was just like, let's make a sea pickle farm. It was... I felt like if we were going to do a video about it, I would probably put some more time into making it like a useful farm. Raiseworks has one? Cool. Yeah. No, and anything that those guys make is going to be infinitely better than what I make from my brain. Because my brain ain't good at technical stuff. I do alright when it comes to explaining some stuff in this series, but more often than not it is because somebody else has laid the foundation for me and I'm just working from knowledge that other people have already streamlined into a package that I can understand. That's the whole deal with what we did earlier today and forcing an end gateway to spawn out in the void. I would never have been able to work out how to do that myself, but Nembon's video just makes it look so simple that it was really worth giving a try. Where's the subscribe button? If you're watching on mobile, I think you tap the screen or something. I don't really know that much about Twitch on mobile, but in browser it's like above the video player, so I don't really know where else to direct you. Well, yeah, there's a link Talisman to just put in the chat. You just got an elytra. How do you fly with it? Whilst you jump, and then when you're falling, you press the space bar. So it's kind of difficult to do from a standing start, but if you've got like a few blocks that you can jump off of, like this, you jump, and then as you're on the way down, you press the space bar again, and your wings open out like that, and you fly. And then if you make fireworks that just use one paper and one gunpowder, you can right-click while holding those, and they boost you into the air like this. It's the heart. No, following is the heart. Subscribing is a different thing, which says subscribe. Following doesn't cost you anything. Subscribing is like a monthly subscription fee thing, yeah. Hello again, Gaming Tape here. The purpose of the Void End Portal is to have easy access to an area where there isn't any other terrain around, so that if we build an Enderman farm there, the only place the Enderman can spawn is, like, right there. And you could just bridge out into the void, but I think it's super cool that you can force an end portal to spawn where you want to anyway. So... what do I think of Chisels and Bits? I think it's a terrible time sink. Conweb with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for subscribing using your Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million, and I appreciate the support. Hey, you found it. Good job. Yeah, I like the concept behind Chisels and Bits, but I don't tend to use it all that much because... mostly because I play vanilla, but also when I get it in modded worlds, it becomes very tricky to get stuff looking the way you want it, and then it becomes a time sink within a game that is already a time sink, and you end up spending ages just working on one block, and then you look around you and you realize that that one block is in an infinite world, and then it feels like very small, and I feel like if you use it smart, you can do some really cool stuff with it, but more often than not, I find myself just losing time to fiddling around with details and then realizing that I should be looking at the bigger picture. Mask, enjoy walking the dogs. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Do I ever get annoyed answering the same questions over and over? Not really, because I kind of understand that everybody has their own experience, and not everybody is going to have seen the answers to the questions that were posed earlier. But we have a couple of commands set up in the chat for the more common ones, like are you going to join Hermitcraft and that kind of stuff. Benefits for subs. You get emotes. You don't have to watch ads while the stream loads up. You can just like load up a stream and you're instantly watching. There are various other things that I can do for my stream, like have subscriber-only days and that kind of thing, where I don't think streams are limited to just subscribers, but only subscribers could chat. And I don't think I will end up doing that unless we end up playing like a narrative game where followers could come in and... Or like people who are new to the stream could come in and potentially spoil stuff for me. But that's why people have follower-only mode, which is kind of the same thing. But yeah, there are various benefits to subscriptions, just like emotes is the main thing, and the warm fuzzy feeling of being able to support your favorite streamers, I guess. If you are a Twitch Prime sub, Twitch Prime does not automatically renew, I think, in most countries, so you can use your free Twitch Prime sub on a different streamer next month if you feel like you want to, and that's a sort of free thing at no additional cost to you. Need to make Mendelssohn hoodies and shirts. I think Mendelssohn is probably going to want a cut of that. I can pay him in emeralds. What's my goal for YouTube? In terms of like viewers or subscribers or whatever, I just want to do what I do. I just want to continue making a fun, interesting Minecraft series that has a reasonable amount of people watching it. I don't really have like a lofty goal in mind for it or anything. Right, folks, I think we are probably going to wrap up there for today. It has been a successful stream. I'm very happy that the end gateway thing worked out, and we got a fair amount of chopping done as well, so that's all good. We chopped a few dragons. If I ever made Mendelssohn shirts, would he wear them? Hey, possibly. Possibly. Alright. Let's see who's out there streaming right now. Alright. So, folks who are at all concerned about keeping things family friendly, you might want to click away for this one, because I'm going to send you the way of the Hot Dish, who is a streamer I found the other day while I was just chilling in the evening, and she is great. I had a lot of fun in her stream, but it's not family friendly, it's 18 plus chat, swearing can happen, that kind of stuff. But keep it clean, keep it cool, because she seems like a cool person. But I am going to raid the Hot Dish because I had such a good time with her stream the other day. I'm sure you guys will enjoy as well. So, bear that in mind if you need to click away. But she's playing some Minecraft right now. She's got some servers on. She's on an SMP. And I think this is Boz's server. Like, she and Boz co-own this server. So, I'm sure you guys will have a good time. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching my stream. My name's been Pixel Riffs. I'll see you guys on Thursday for another one. Until then, take care. Bye for now.